Hello everybody and welcome to a complete playthrough of Path of Exile 2's campaign. The goal of this video is basically to just walk you through as a brand new player or someone who is struggling the ins and outs of Path of Exile 2. If you've seen this video on Path of Exile 1, I'm essentially doing the exact same thing here. Don't worry, you're not going to see the entire campaign uncut. I will only hop on the mic and show you guys clips that are completely relevant to the playthrough and are not redundant with any info that I've already provided. I have been playing Path of Exile for over 11 years at this point, so there are quite a few things that I can share with you guys. So sit back, relax, go grab a snack, maybe a drink or two, and let's play some PoE 2. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Path of Exile 2. So the first thing here, when you all create a character, you likely will not see these two banners, standard and hardcore, because seasonal content will have been in the game. We're still at the very beginning of early access right now, so this is just permanent standard, permanent hardcore. All I'm trying to say, just click the leftmost, the blue banner, whatever it says. It'll be like a different name here for the league, the content, whatever it may be called. Just click this blue one. Don't bother with solo self-found. This just means you can't trade with any other players. For the purposes of this video, however, I am going to play both hardcore, so when I die, I essentially lose my character. Fun fact, never actually lose anything in Path of Exile. Just when you die on a hardcore character, they get kicked into the standard version of the league. But I'm going to play hardcore just for teaching purposes, because obviously if I am still in the hardcore league, you know that whatever I'm doing is probably working. And then I'm also going to choose solo self-found, again, just for teaching purposes. I will absolutely still relay all of the information while I'm playing the game as if you are playing just this one over here, regular trade economy. You know, you can buy upgrades off of players, etc., etc. All right, let's go ahead and dive in. I feel like playing the warrior. Our class choice is rather limited here at the start of early access. I'm a big two-hand mace bonk kind of guy myself, so the warrior is absolutely the right choice. Then I'll do Woolie teaching as the character name. Let's dive in. So the first option you're presented here is your movement type. If you're used to isometric point and click games or MOBAs, you probably want to use mouse. Otherwise, if you just are a regular gamer, click WASD. I personally like the feel of WASD a lot more, even though I'm used to both. So I'm just going to choose that. So basically anything that pops up on screen here, I'm just not going to bother talking about because the tutorials will point you in the right direction. Obviously, I hope you guys know that you can pick up loot by left clicking on things in the game. I'm not going to insult your guys' intelligence that much, right? So while it's fun to kill every single last enemy around and like pick up all this random loot, of course that is not efficient, nor is it conducive to, you know, actually learning and understanding the game. But by all means, if you're having fun just like whacking all of these zombies, go ahead and do it. For myself, I'm just going to keep going on here. And we get a splintered tower shield. That means we can active block. This game is much different than Path of Exile 1 or probably any other action RPG that you've played, where I can raise my shield and suddenly just start blocking all the damage as if I'm facing them until we get to low health like this. So my health is low, so I'm going to press 1, get the life flask, get bada bing, bada boom. Getting trapped on the enemies here. That's going to happen quite frequently, so be prepared for that. All right, and then out of this chest, we got our first skill gem. So again, if you've played Path of Exile 1, you'll know that skills go into sockets and links in your gear. However, here in Path of Exile 2, it's completely different. We just have a separate skill menu over here. You are literally not interfacing your skills with your gear whatsoever. And if you don't play Path of Exile 1, obviously, that doesn't matter in the first place. So we're simply going to, you know, left click the gem from there, put it in over here, and all of a sudden we can now access this skill. And the best way to do that, you can either like click and drag it somewhere, boom, put it down here. You can also just click one of these slots individually. On console, it's probably just like going over there and pressing the X or the A button. And you can assign a certain skill to a certain keybind. It's that simple. However, fun fact here with the current state of Path of Exile 2, the literal auto attack Mace Strike right here costs no mana whatsoever and does quite a bit of damage. Rolling Slam, yeah, it does some more damage. You can hold the Alt key, by the way, to make sure things stay on your screen. So if I'm not holding Alt, when I hover over it, it goes away. If I hold Alt, I can also just click this little pin. Now I'm letting go, and all of this info is here. Another good thing about Path of Exile 2, you can hover over like anything that has those dotted lines under it, and it'll just explain a whole bunch bar to you. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is that, yes, Rolling Slam technically does more damage, 160% with the second slam like this. Mace Strike just doesn't cost any mana and does a very good amount of damage at a high attack speed. So I'm just going to use that for the most part. Also new here is the checkpoint system in Path of Exile 2. Simply when you die, you will just be transported back to your last checkpoint. This is very useful for boss fights. All right, here is the first skill check of Path of Exile 2, the Bloated Miller. All we need to do here is just basically dodge roll out of all of his attacks. Some bosses and enemies will have red telegraphed attacks. Those ones you cannot block or roll out of, so I'm just not paying attention here too. Just pay attention to those. Also there, we kind of heavy stun to him. You'll see a little meter under his health bar right here. Yeah, I'm already dodging. I'm in the middle of a dodge. Thank you. You see a little meter build up when I'm hitting him, and that is his stun meter. You can see it's filling up way slower now because we just heavy stunned him. All a heavy stun does is make so that the enemy cannot, act or do anything. Can't hit you, can't run away, can't do anything while they are heavy stunned. And now that his meter is filling up again, that means we're about to prime him up for another heavy stun momentarily. 3, 2, 1, and that should be the stun. There it is. Boom, he's stunned. He's like, oh no, you stunned me. Oh, stop it. That's not nice. So basically just spam the dodge roll button and evade his attacks. GG. Free money, baby. Thank you very much, Mr. Bloated Miller. I will see you later. If you played pretty much any other loot-based game, you know exactly what this is. So blue ones have a maximum of 2 modifiers. You can see by the name, heavy of the mongoose. Heavy is the prefix, of the mongoose is the suffix. Or you can just look here by holding the alt key. Again, prefix, suffix. It is filled up with both of its slots. This one is a quarterstaff. It does physical damage, and it rolled increased physical damage. This is going to increase this implicit or base value right here. So this is actually pretty good. And then dexterity, each point of dexterity, you can see right here, gives you +5 accuracy rating. Accuracy just lets you hit enemies more often. So honestly, this is not a bad start. I'm going to take off my one-handed weapon here. And you can see here, the game is not letting me equip this weapon because I'm using the skill Rolling Slam. However, I'm not actually going to be using this skill, so let me just take that out. Also, if you want to disable that from happening, you can go over here to Options, Game, and where it says Equipping Restrictions, simply turn that off. And now if you have a skill socketed that cannot be used with a weapon with that option off in the settings, you can just equip the weapon anyway. So as a new player, you should likely keep that on, but it's there if you need it. And then for the other 2 items, we have a staff here with some spell damage and a circlet here with some energy shield. This has no stat requirements, so I may as well put it on. However, obviously I'm playing a warrior, a big bonk 2-handed guy, so a staff and a little twig circlet, a little cute twig circlet probably isn't the gear that I'm looking for. But for right now, I have literally no items on. I might as well put it on. All right, and here is probably the biggest litmus test in all of gaming, the Path of Exile skill tree. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. So much like in Path of Exile 1, your class choice simply determines where you start on the passive tree. So here I'm playing the warrior, so I'm starting with one of these 2 options here, melee damage or armor. So for example, this location is going to be for the Templar, this is for the Witch, this is for the Shadow, this is for the Ranger, and this is for the Mercenary. As we get more classes, there are going to be more starting nodes, I would imagine. Anyway, I'm playing a warrior, so I probably want things like this. Increased melee damage. I'm going to hold the control key and click that. It'll allocate the point. If you don't hold the control key, it'll just ask you to confirm the node. This is good for you guys that are going to plan out your builds or you don't really know exactly what you want. So control key will instantly allocate. Otherwise, just click it and then click apply. And obviously, as I level up more, I will explain in much more depth which path I'm going to be taking with the nodes. But we'll get to that when we get there. All right, and then talking here to Renly, we get our first skill gem reward. This is how skills are handled in Path of Exile 2. Instead of them just randomly dropping or you getting an exact skill from a quest reward, you get an uncut skill gem. If you right-click this, it brings up a massive menu. By default, you will only see skills relevant to the class that you chose. So the warrior class is obviously going to see a bunch of warrior and slam bonk-related things, right? Earthquake, Bone Shatter, Rolling Slam, Armor Breaker, Perfect Strike, Leap Slam, all this stuff seems like something a warrior would do, right? But if you want to get a little frisky, you can click through all of this. This is early access moment, haha. You can click through all of these and you can technically engrave whatever skill you want. You can also just go down here to clicking all gems and boom, all of a sudden every single gem in the game, you can see them right here. But I highly recommend that you all just stay on the default menu you get from right-clicking those uncut gems. So here in each town, you're going to have vendors that sell different things. Una happens to be the magician spellcaster vendor. She also has some flasks and an amulet here. It's actually a pretty good amulet. Life regen in the early game is very good. However, that costs 2,000 gold, so can't really afford that quite yet. And then going over here to Finn, this guy is actually the gambling vendor. So you can see it says random 1-hand mace, random 2-hand mace. So you just buy one of these for a set amount of gold, and it could potentially give you a very nice item or something that's complete trash. So I'm actually going to go up here to Renly and see what he has to sell. He has a 2-handed mace here for 191 gold. I don't know if I can afford that if I sell everything here. I would not be able to afford that. So for right now, I suppose we are just using our quarter staff and going to auto attack things until we have a little more money. So here for my first skill gem, I'm opting to choose Earthquake. It has a good amount of area of effect and helps me with clearing large groups of monsters. So that'll be the first gem that I pick up. And remember that when you engrave a skill gem, that you actually socket it into your menu and then assign the hotkey so that you can actually use it. In this case, I'm going to put Earthquake on Q by simply clicking the icon and dragging it over to Q. Again, you can also click one of these to assign it like that. So throughout this video, you will see me play with the overlay map toggled on, which looks like this in the center of the screen. This is just a force of habit. you can see that the blue outline is basically the fog of war, and then as I progress down here, it'll fill out the fog of war according to, you know, what's around me. It does not show you things like enemy locations on the map, but it will show you things like specific loot drops. If you have a loot filter active, it'll be a little icon. But for a new player, it doesn't really matter what you do. You can either play with the map in the corner or the map overlay like this. It's just a personal preference for me to do it like this. Also, you can see here that we have our quest list here. We have Treacherous Ground. We got to find a mud burrow entrance and slay a devourer. And then we have to travel through the clear fell to the Grailwood. If you ever get confused on what your objectives are in terms of like relation to where your character currently is, you can press the U key. The U key will bring up the world map. And then you can see a much better breakdown. If you hover over a place, it has like little dotted lines of where you should be traversing. These icons right here, this is a boss icon with the big skull emoji there. And the little plus icon next to it means that I'm going to get a passive skill point as a reward. We have some skull icons over here. These do not have the plus icon, so they're not going to give me passive points. This one is very important because we're going to get a skill point reward due to that plus sign. So let's go ahead and try and find Brea of the Pack. And looky there, we just opened the chest and got another skill gem. It is still level 1, so I don't really care about engraving it quite yet, but it's nice to have that. And here we are. She just voice lined at me, Brea of the Rotten Pack, so we are going to try and take her down. Let's see if we have what it takes, ladies and gentlemen. So far, so good. Heavy stun to get wrecked. On some wolves, we're just going to auto attack them to death because auto attack is the best skill in the game. Let's go. That was some big damage. I think I just crit her actually. I think every character by default has a 5% critical strike chance, and when you hit that 5%, you are dealing double damage by default. So very, very nice. And we're just going to sit here and auto attack her, roll out of that, and see ya, Brea. We got a unique smithing hammer. That is that is actually super, super rare. Wow, that is extremely lucky. All right, so unique items here, you can see with the orange text, have completely custom modifiers. So this is a smithing hammer base type, and when I identify it, you can see that the hits break 46 armor, and you apply fire exposure when fully breaking enemy armor. These are completely custom modifiers to the Wyland's Stake unique item. You are not going to see a lot of unique items, especially early on. This is a very, very, very lucky drop. I'm very happy to get this, especially as a warrior character. Wow. So we're just going to go ahead and slap that guy on. Also, this is a one-handed weapon, so therefore we can put on an additional one-hander or a shield. In this case, I'm going with the one-hander because I want to do a little more damage. Also, after killing Brea, we got the head of the Winter Wolf. I was actually mistaken when I said that the plus icon next to the skull meant to get skill points. It actually just means that you get a consumable of some kind. In this case, we have an item that grants 10% cold resistance, and it says right here, right-click to crush it and undo the curse. So we're going to right-click it. You have received plus 10 to cold resistance. So basically, just if you see that plus icon, go after it because it gives your character some sort of increase to power. And she also happened to drop an Oak Great Hammer, which is a two-handed mace. Let's see if we can roll some physical damage on this. And unfortunately, we do not. So for right now, I'm going to run the Wyland's Stake. Also, the way that dual wielding weapons works in Path of Exile 2 is that it's dependent on the skill that you use. So you see here, if I hover over Mace Strike, it says while dual wielding, both weapons hit with 30% less attack speed. So you're hitting simultaneously, you're just, attacking a little bit slower. And the same thing here with Earthquake. While dual wielding, both weapons hit with 30% less damage instead of attack speed. So you're still hitting simultaneously, you're just dealing less damage instead of having less attack speed. So just make sure you're reading the skills and see what's what. And while I have found the exit to the Grailwood over here, which is for the Secrets in the Dark quest, if I open up the overlay map again, remember that we have the quest for the Devourer in the Mud Burrow. You see that this location is currently in my present location. If I were to move on to the Grailwood, I would lose access to that. So let's actually go ahead and backtrack and find the Mud Burrow real quick. And here we are. We have arrived at the Mud Burrow. Let's go on in.
Hello, Mr. Devourer. I'm coming to get you. Hello.
Crush them!
So I just leveled up again here, and I am simply going to continue in the melee damage path and grab some more melee damage. Who would have thought? So we just got a checkpoint here in the Mud Burrow. So I don't know about you guys, but if we get a checkpoint, it probably means that there's a boss fight looking about right here. So instead of going to the boss just yet, because I actually don't have gear in every single one of my slots, I'm going to go back to town and see what the vendors have to offer. This is a very, very, very powerful move. At any point in your playthrough, just make sure that you're coming back to town occasionally if you ever feel stuck to check the vendors. I wouldn't check Finn because he's the gambler guy. Check the actual vendors over here. See right here, she has a ring with damage, life, and fire resistance on it. It costs a pretty penny though, so I can't afford that quite yet. Let's go on over here to Renly instead and see if he has a body armor, a pair of boots, or a pair of gloves for a decent price. So first of all, I don't need any of this gear, so I'm just going to go ahead and hold the control key and sell it. You see here, this thing costs 41. If I identify it, now it costs 73. So if you have some wisdom scrolls, just use them to identify the items for a little more money. Going to sell that. So we're sitting at 297 gold. We have 11 max life there, 10 max life with 45 armor. That looks really juicy. But look at this one, max life and life regeneration. That is exactly what we're looking for. Ladies and gentlemen, we have just found our upgrade, and now we can probably take down the Devourer. Let's go. All right, Mr. Devourer, show me what you got. Put an earthquake down, broke his armor. Let's go, big damage. Big damage. Wow, earthquake takes so long to activate. That's crazy. Crazy. Make sure this guy doesn't like slam me. He's probably gonna move again before earthquake blows up. That's gonna hit very hard. Oh, the life regen is saving me. I would have died there to the poison had I not had the life regen. So you saw my health start going down, and I popped my life flask, but that would not have been enough had I not have life regen as well. That was extremely lucky. Oh, here he goes again. Doing a big spit attack. I think we're good here. DPS, DPS. EPS, and we got him, ladies and gentlemen. So literally, if I did not buy this chest piece, I would have died. So highly recommend the vendors. Also, he dropped a level 2 skill gem. Wow, would you look at that? So we're going to open up this bad boy, and we can take a new skill if we would like to, or we can just upgrade our existing skill. You can see here the attack damage of Earthquake from going from level 1 to 2 goes from 40 to 44%. But also, if his skill has multiple components of it, rather, you can see here this is just the impact damage is 44%. If we click on Aftershock, this is where the big money comes in. This is, you know, how it takes so long to explode. That is going from 130 to 143. So a pretty big upgrade here, leveling up our Earthquake to level 2. Also, we dropped another smithing hammer. This one happens to be magic rarity. Remember, this is a smithing hammer, but it's a unique item, so totally custom. This is just a regular old smithing hammer, but this one rolled with a little bit of damage. So we're obviously going to slap that on instead of the wooden club. Also, another fun thing here, this one has a socket. We can't do anything with the socket quite yet, but as soon as we can, I will let you know. All right, and now that we've killed the Devourer, we are done here in the Mud Burrow, so we can simply open a portal to go back to town. And I'm sorry, I forgot to explain this earlier. You can open a portal one of two ways. You can simply click the portal button down here, and your character will manually cast one. Or you can go to Options, Input, and then scroll all the way down here in the menu to create a portal, and you can keybind this to whatever you want. I have it on a mouse button just for, you know, ease of access. But that is how you make a portal. It is totally free. It just takes a little bit of time. And so be careful if you're around enemies. For example, if you take damage, it'll cancel the cast of the portal. Another thing, it doesn't actually matter who you sell items to. Every vendor is going to give you the exact same price. So if I go here to Finn and I sell him this long quarterstaff that is unidentified, it'll give me 14 gold. And if I go over here to Una, who is the spellcaster vendor, the same item gives me 14 gold. So don't worry about who you sell things to. Just get them out of your inventory and get some gold. Also, I have no wisdom scrolls, so you can simply buy more from Una or just the spellcaster vendor of each town. So here's a pretty interesting identification. This one rolled with +1 level of all melee skills. This is an extremely powerful modifier on any build. It'll say melee skills, projectile skills, spell skills, whatever it may be. +1 level, again, very, very powerful, because if we go back to Earthquake and we look at that Aftershock damage, remember we went from 130 to 143. So if I level up again, it's going to give me at least 13% more, which is, you know, relative to this value, very, very high. So +1 levels is always going to be a desirable stat. Unfortunately for me, this is on a staff and I'm using maces. So can't do anything with this, but be on the lookout for +1 level in your build for sure. And finally, off of the Devourer, we got a couple flasks. This one is a medium life flask instead of a lesser life flask, although I need level 4 to use it. So as soon as we hit level 4, we'll be able to slap that on. Also, you will see items occasionally roll with quality. All that this does is dependent on the item type. So in this case, a life flask with quality simply gives it more health recovery, whereas a weapon with quality would give it more damage. The physical damage here would go up. And the maximum quality on any type of item is 20%. So a 12% medium life flask is pretty good, actually. So I can't wait to put that on. And then as for this lesser mana flask, you can see that my current mana flask is just regular. This one is magic, so I might as well identify it. Look at that. We got increased amount recovered and charges gained. So we're just going to replace our flask like that. Also, you saw me compare an item here. Simply do that by holding the shift key. So by holding the shift key when you're hovering over an item, it'll show you your currently equipped item in a direct comparison. And I did mention this earlier, I believe, but I might not have gone into detail. You can see when I hover the item, it says Alt Inspect. Hold the Alt key and it'll show you all the modifiers on the item, their roll ranges, and the tags. So in this case, this is a unique item, so this one's probably better to do. The prefix physical damage has the tags damage, physical, and attack. You don't really need to think about any of this. Just know that the higher the tier of the modifier, the better it is, and the more rare it'll be to find an item with it. However, if you want to be a bit ballsy, if you will, you can go down here to show recommended gems, simply uncheck that option. And now you have every single support gem in the entire game ready to go into Earthquake. Now, just because you can put something into a skill does not mean that it will do anything. For example, if I was to infuse, say, Core Morbidity onto Earthquake, it says targets can be affected by +1 poisons, poison less duration. Earthquake has nothing to do with poison by default. So if I were to engrave it here, it would let me, but it would literally just have no impact on my character. So highly recommend that you guys just stay with the recommended gems menu here. They have it for a reason, right? And both Fast Forward and Fist of War are decent options. Fast Forward lets the Earthquake Aftershock pop a little bit faster, but I think I want to go here with Fist of War, which simply gives me 20% more damage and area of effect. Again, I can see all of this by holding the Alt key, and then it lets me hover over any one of these dotted lines. So 20% more damage every 6 seconds sounds pretty good to me. And then once you click engrave, it'll automatically put it as a support gem. However, you can click and move this, into anywhere else that you would like. Finally here, once your inventory gets a little bit full, you can access your stash in town, and it'll look like this by default, just, a blank page. You can control click on an item and just slap it into an existing tab. However, if you're a pay-to-win gamer like me, you can have special tabs. For example, this is a currency tab. So obviously any type of currency can fit in here. For example, Orb of Augmentation. If we just put that in there, it fills in the slot for the Orb of Augmentation. The Transmutation Shard, control click that in here, boom, it goes exactly where it's supposed to go. But if you don't have this fancy tab, fret not, because in a regular tab, you can simply right click and set an affinity. So in this case, if I want all my currency to go into this tab, I simply click the currency affinity. Now, let's say I was on like a different tab like this one, and I control click these items. Oh no, where did they go? Oh wait, they went into the currency affinity tab. Simple as that. But here I am, unfortunately, a pay-to-win gamer, so this is my currency tab. I'm gonna name it, boom, make it pretty, and then this is where all my currency is gonna live. So after you've come back into town for whatever reason, maybe you took a break, maybe you had to come back after you killed a scary monster, got some full inventory, whatever the case may be, I recommend that you look at your quest list or just simply open the world map to remember where to go. This little icon here is telling me, hey, maybe you should go to the Grailwood, buddy. Hey, maybe this location's pretty important. So while I could travel through my portal and then backtrack all the way to where I was, I can also just use a waypoint here. So waypoints are extremely good. However, I kind of forgot to get the waypoint in the Clearfell area. So, whoops. I guess we're walking, boys. And you can see here on the world map, the waypoint was literally right next to the mud barrow. I just jumped the gun and went down there instead of walking like 2 steps down to get to the waypoint. My bad. Also, pretty cool thing, these checkpoints are not just a place to respawn when you die. You can actually click on them and travel to any other checkpoint that you've established in that zone. So if I want to go all the way to the mud barrel, boom, I can just TP with that checkpoint, and vice versa. Pretty cool to save a lot of time with backtracking. So here's another example of one of those optional areas on the map. I found Aggie's hut, or whatever her name was. You see right here, the witch hut, this little chest icon simply means that there's some loot in here. So I'm going to click the cauldron and wow, what do you know? Some random loot has appeared. But again, just look on your minimap. If it doesn't have the plus sign next to it, you probably don't need to bother doing it. And here is our first example of a rare enemy. So you can see the Forgotten Witch has yellow text and she has a little aura around here. If we hover over here, it says Elemental Resistance Aura. She's also evasive. So all that means is that this enemy is significantly stronger than regular ones.
Destruction!
Oh! Yeah, like that. Like that. I need to get that guy out of here. Let's go. Run. And she's TPing. She's following me, man. Get me out of here. So I made the mistake here of, oh, that chilled ground hurts me. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. I made the mistake here of swapping my life flask out. And if you do that, you lose all of the charges on the flask. Oh my gosh, I almost died. There was an enemy camping at the checkpoint. Get me out of here right now. Get me out of here right now. Okay, don't do what I did. If you swap your flask out, you lose all of your charges and you can't pop it. You have to go back to town and click the well. It also refills your health, but it refills, more importantly, your flasks. So don't do what I just did right before a boss fight. Not a good idea. All right, now with full HP and full flasks, let's go back into the Grailwood and take care of that rare enemy. She should be in the exact same place we left her. There she is, the Forgotten Witch. Earthquake, do your thing. Hopefully you don't move off of the Earthquake. Please don't move off the Earthquake. Please don't do it. Don't you do it. Where's she going? All right, that drown damages me, so I'm going to get off of that. Should explode right next to her. Never mind, she dodged it. Dude, this enemy is very annoying. Can you stop moving? Earthquake sitting on top of her. Oh, who would have thought? She dodged off of it, so we're just going to auto attack. This is why auto attack is the best skill in the game, ladies and gentlemen. And we got her. Another unique item. I am telling you right now, back-to-back unique items is not common at all. That is extremely lucky. Let's go. Unfortunately, I think this one's like a minion-related one. Extra damage to chaos per undead minion. Yeah, this is a minion-related weapon. Unfortunately, not for me, but Hey, that's pretty cool. And she also dropped, more importantly, another support gem. So what we can do here is engrave this, and I actually want to put it on Mace Strike. In this case, we have Lacerate, which is chance to bleed, Rage on hit. Rage is actually very good. This mechanic gives us 1% more attack damage per rage. And if you see the word more, that is a separate multiplier to something rather than increased or decreased. So you can have like 50% increased damage, but if you have 10% more damage, it's going to multiply that final value by an extra 10%. So more attack damage is very, very good. However, in this case, I'd rather have the Fire Infusion for 25% of extra damage as extra fire. This is just 25% more damage all the time instead of Rage. I have to, you know, continually hit things and build it up. So I'm going to take, right now, Fire Infusion. And then as far as these two other items on the ground, yes, I could pick them up. I have space in my inventory. However, I know that they're just not really worth anything. This is a white item with no modifiers. This is a blue energy shield armor. I'm not using energy shield. I'm a big warrior bonk armor guy. So I could pick them up and sell them to a vendor, but I can also just, you know, save time and space and not do that. So I'm gonna not do that. Goodbye. So here I just dropped my first pair of boots, these straw sandals. However, they have no modifiers on them. They're a common white item, but I have this orb of transmutation that I got earlier, which upgrades a normal into a magic item. So what we're gonna do here is put it on the boots and hope that we get movement speed as a prefix. Unfortunately, we got lightning res, that is a suffix, but this still has an open prefix modifier. Remember, magic items, blue items, can have two modifiers, both one prefix and one suffix. So I can now go back to town real quick. And I remember getting an Orb of Augmentation earlier as a drop, so I'm going to check my stash, and sure enough, boom, Orb of Augmentation. Now let's slap it on. We got Energy Shield instead of Movement Speed. RIP. But that is a very, very, very common practice that you will do extremely frequently as you play the game. You get an item that doesn't really have modifiers that you want, or maybe has a couple and not another one, and then you're going to use the various crafting currency that you've obtained to modify the item in some capacity. It's going to happen all the time. Also, instead of selling things for gold at vendors, you can click them, and instead of clicking buy or sell items, if I do that, this mana flask sells for 18 gold, I can click disenchant items. Now, you can't disenchant common items, but magic, rare, and unique, you can. And in this case, if I were to disenchant, I would get a transmutation shard, which if I get 10 of those, I get a transmutation orb, which I feel like that's pretty valuable right now, so I'm going to do that instead.
Crush them!
Ooh, okay, so this mace that I just identified has +2 to all melee skills. It's a two-handed weapon, so I would lose my Wyland stake, unfortunately. But I'm going to go back to town and slap an augment on that and see what I get. So here we go. Let's see. 3, 2, 1 damage. 45 LE damage. You know what? That's not half bad because if you remember, we put on our Mace Strike Fire Infusion. 25% of any of the damage that we deal is added as extra fire damage. And if we look here, we click this little arrow, you can see that my physical damage is 25 to 47 thanks to the mace. But we're also dealing an extra 8 to 16 fire, which that is increased by the 45%. So very, very nice overall, especially with the +2 level of gems. You can see here that the attack damage of Mace Strike at level 4 is 132. If I take that off and I put a mace back on, you can see that it's only 110. So it's an absolutely gargantuan damage increase to the base value there. So while we received a unique item literally off the first boss that we killed, that's very cool. Unfortunately, not very useful now that I have this big upgrade here. So for now, you're going into the stash. And for that, I'm going to set a tab with unique affinity. That way, every time I get a unique item, I can just control click it into a tab just for them. I'm also going to name it unique with orange. Boom. Or brown. I think that's brown. No, that's orange. Also, if you interact with a vendor by holding the control key, if they have two options, for example, she has buy or sell, which goes for gold, disenchant, which gives you those extra shards. If I hold the control key, it's going to bring up the disenchant menu by default. So just keep that in mind when you're interacting with vendors. So here we just dropped a Felled Great Club with 2 sockets on it. Highly recommend that if an item that drops has sockets on it, just pick it up, because when you go back to town, you can use it on a bench to salvage it for extra currency based on the number of sockets. I'll show you that when I get to it though. So you can see right now the general flow of combat for me is if there's a big group of enemies, I'm going to slam down an earthquake. Then I'm going to like single some guys out, auto attack them, waiting for earthquake to pop. Boom, it pops and hopefully takes out all of the enemies. Other than that, I'm just popping my life flask whenever I take a little bit of damage, because as you kill enemies, you will gain charges. You see it's currently 73 charges, consumes 10 out of 80 per use. So basically have a full life flask. Every time you kill an enemy, you get +1 charge. So don't be spamming the life flask, but you definitely don't need to be super conservative with it. You can pull aggro on a cluster of enemies, take a little bit of damage, pop your life flask, not a big deal because once you kill all those enemies, you'll have recovered the flash charge to just pop another one, right? So just rinse and repeat. Try and be pretty efficient with pulling monsters. You don't want to just single out individual people all the time. And you also don't want to waste your time on very small packs of enemies. All right, here's another boss fight upcoming with the Rust King doing the Obelisk of Rust quest. Watch out for that. Down the earthquake, let it cook. We kill this archer too because he's just annoying me. We got him heavy stuns. We're gonna smack him when he's heavy stunned. I don't think you do any bonus damage to heavy stunned enemies by default. You just get a free damage window on them, if that makes sense. Oh, that could have been very bad. I did not dodge that fully. That also could have been very bad. Rust King's kind of messing me up, gentlemen. Holy moly. Gotta watch out. Okay, watch out for that big attack. Most attacks in this game are very well telegraphed. You can easily tell it's going to be like a massive AoE or something. So just, spam that dodge roll. You're basically playing Dark Souls. All right, so he dropped a quest item. He dropped a Regal Orb, which is very nice. He dropped a rare shield, a Lazuli ring, a level 3 skill gem. Quite a bit of stuff there for me. Also, you can see that some of these items are highlighted differently. This is because I'm using a loot filter. I guess I will leave a link in the description to a default filter that you can download. But you can also just play the game without this. It just helps, it makes a little sound effect, puts an icon on the map. Just makes it a little easier to see the loot that you're getting. But definitely not necessary to have a loot filter. It just helps out a tiny bit. Life intelligence for 131 gold, but again, I actually recommend that you go to the disenchant option. I'll get a regal shard instead of a little bit of gold, and these regal shards obviously are going to create a regal orb, and this bad boy upgrades a magic item into a rare one, and you add one additional modifier. So for example, this mace right here that I just got earlier, the +2 melee skills, if I slap the regal orb on it, all of a sudden it turns it into yellow, which is the rare rarity. And unfortunately in this case, it only added accuracy rating, which is not the best modifier. It doesn't hurt, but it also doesn't really help. I was looking for like percent increased physical damage or extra fire, extra lightning, extra cold, etc. But rare items, the yellow ones here, can have 6 total modifiers. So you see it has 1 prefix here with the LA damage, 1 prefix here with the accuracy, and then 1 suffix with the plus melee skills. We could theoretically find an item here with 3 prefixes and 3 suffixes. So you can get some pretty dang good loot when they are the yellow quality. As you progress the campaign, you will eventually look to have yellow or rare items in every single slot, probably by the time you're in middle of Act 2, maybe entering Act 3. And then for the socketed items, I can't actually use them yet, but once I can, again, I will hop on the mic and show you what to do. For now, I'm just going to put them in a stash tab and remember that they're here for later. Finally, for the level 3 skill gem here, pretty interesting. I actually can't take anything because we have these new skills here, but look at all their strength requirements. 16 strength. I am currently level 6. I have the level requirement, but I only have 15 strength, so I can't actually engrave anything here until I level up one more time. So pretty interesting that that happens. All right, so I think I've pretty much covered all of the bases in regards to the absolute basics of the game in terms of leveling up, passive tree, looting, killing monsters, skill rotation, etc. So from now on, I'll probably just hop on the mic to explain like big upgrades on the character, such as like, where I'm gonna go generally next on the passive tree, a big item that I get like triples my overall damage, something crazy like that. Otherwise, I will just see you guys in the next clip. Goodbye. All right, here's another boss fight real quick. See if we can put this down. Perfect timing. It should explode before he teleports. No! Dang it, come back here, rotten druid. That might be like right on the area of that. We'll see. Oh, nice heavy stun. See if we get another earthquake in. Get out of there, get out of there. Oh, that was close. Sorry, I have one of my viewers messaging me for help on the build. You've seen the whispers right there. Hey, Envy Prison, you made it to a video, man. Say hi. Say hi, Envy Prison. I am surprised that didn't damage me. A massive like AoE shockwave you just put out. It's kind of crazy. Also, this goes to show how much difference a little bit of armor makes on your character. Get out of there. No, we got him. I don't know if that still explodes. I'm going to step out of it. So a little bit of armor. I have a 30% DR with 84 armor. Just quite literally, this chest piece alone gives me a 30% physical damage reduction. So it makes a massive difference for the early game. All right, and allocating this node here gave me +10 to strength, which means I can go back here to the uncut skill gem and grab one of these. In this case, I'm going to go Infernal Cry. Basically, how this works is it has a power mechanic right here. So if I'm fighting a rare enemy, I'll get 5 power, and every 5 power you see right here, I get 25% of the damage of the next ability as extra fire damage. Basically, that's the fire infusion support. But if we're fighting an unique enemy, for example, a boss, you get 20 power. So you get a whole butt ton of damage from a single button. For Earthquake, this is going to drastically increase its overall single target damage. So taking Infernal Cry for sure, slapping that bad boy on there. And then for the support gem here, I am definitely going to go with Lacerate and put it on Earthquake. I have no idea why Lacerate is not a recommended gem on Earthquake. It is insanely good, because 50% chance to cause bleeding. You see bleeding right here deals 15% of the physical damage of the hit per second, and it lasts 5 seconds by default. And it's a 50% chance to inflict bleeding. So if you get a massive bleed from the AoE explosion, again on Earthquake, the AoE explosion does 171% of the normal damage. So it can just get crazy with a big bleed. I have no idea why Lacerate is not recommended. You should absolutely be rocking it with Earthquake. Cool, so I just dropped the first charm, Stone Charm. So these things automatically are used when the criteria is met. So when you become stunned, you cannot be stunned, aka you just ignore a stun, and it works like Flask. You see it consumes a certain amount of charges, lasts a certain amount of time. I just need a belt to drop first, because that's what gives you a charm slot. So I don't actually have the space to put it on quite yet. So once we get a belt, we can slap that on and prevent a stun every so often. Stone Charm. So these things automatically are used when the criteria is met. So when you become stunned, you cannot be stunned, aka you just ignore a stun, and it works like Flask. You see it consumes a certain amount of charges, lasts a certain amount of time. I just need a belt to drop first, because that's what gives you a charm slot. So I don't actually have the space to put it on quite yet. So once we get a belt, we can slap that on and prevent a stun every so often. All right, I believe this is a boss fight. Let's see. Might just be a next floor down. Oh, looks like we got some loot down here. Hold up. Fur plates, pretty good. Boots, movement speed, boom. Hey, there it is. And rarity. Rarity in this game is actually a very powerful stat. So it essentially just increases the likelihood of getting better items. So you'll see if we get a rare here. I should have put them on first. What am I doing? I'm trolling. So the magic items are blue, the yellow items are rare, the orange items are unique, so rarity will help you out. But most importantly, the boots dropped with movement speed. So we're definitely just going to slap those on, and now we're 10% faster. It's not that noticeable, but overall, it's going to save us a lot of time walking around. All right, this looks like a boss fight. Here she comes. See if we can pop the Earthquake at the perfect time. Might not be good. Let's try another one. Maybe another one. There we go. All right, how much damage is this guy doing? Not a bunch, and he is out of my Earthquake entirely, I'm pretty sure. Yup, that is correct. That's okay. No bleed. Let's get a bleed. I don't know what he's doing. I'm dodging that, though. No, I'm not. What if he can shotgun me with all those projectiles? Oh, get stunned, buddy. See ya. See ya. Whoa, get out of there. Yeah. That's a big AoE, and I stood right in it, too. Watch out. Dude, I am taking a lot of damage for free on this guy. I'm just letting all my Flask recharge me here. Yeah, he's getting, like, buffed from those flames, I think. Yeah, I might need to, like, body block those or something. He should get stunned here, actually. With the Earthquake pop. Earthquake pop. Come on. There it is. Get out of there. She's going to explode the big one. After that. Ooh, that still damages you. Okay, that's crazy. He was definitely... Ooh, Ruby Ring. Ruby Ring, Ruby Ring, Ruby Ring. Ruby Ring is very, very nice because it has an implicit of fire resistance. And it's rare, so we can get another resist or 2 or 3 and life on top of that. Let's see. Life, all attributes, intelligence. Okay, unfortunately, it's not that good, but the fire resist implicit alone is very powerful. Life regen is pretty good, too, in the early game, and then the attributes are like, okay, and the life is solid. So, solid ring for sure. Could have been a little better, though. Okay, so I just dropped this white iron ring. Has no stats on it whatsoever, and we have a transmute and an augmentation in our stash, so I'm going to go ahead and do this. Lightning res is beautiful. Cold damage is not bad. So instead of the Lazuli ring, which simply gives me more mana, a little bit of accuracy, not the best. This one gives me damage as the implicit, damage as the prefix, the cold damage, and then lightning res, so it's much, much, much better. That is going to be another very common thing that you do. You'll drop like a decent base type, especially on jewelry, so rings, amulet, belts. Then you're going to use some of your currency in your stash to hopefully get an upgrade. So this room is a perfect example of the early game of PoE 2. You were just attacking once, dodge rolling, attacking once. I could sit there and Earthquake and use a different ability, but this is definitely a lot safer. All right, and this should be the next boss fight here. Let's see if she's about as easy as the other one. Try and time these earthquakes.
Your way has no place
Honk.
here, coward.
Honk. Honk. Really, only one aftershock. Okay. I don't know what she does. She's like tangling me. I guess I just walk, 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 walk. That's pretty good. We got to bleed. Very nice. Get out of there. Whoa! That was very close. Do another one. Should get a heavy stun very soon, so especially the earthquake hits. It does. I think it bled as well. Very nice. Should get a heavy stun right here. Boom. Let's put an earthquake down. Get Draven out of there. Looking good. Looking good. That's a very long stun. Very, very long stun on her. I think she stunned me out of my earthquake. Speaking of stuns, thank you for teleporting right next to the earthquake. That's very nice of you. She's doing something crazy. Get out of there. Get out of there. Guess you can just dodge roll out of the bones there. It's kind of interesting. Don't know if that's intended or not. All right, that was probably easier than Draven, quite frankly. All right, give me another rare jewelry piece or something. Ooh, support gem, a boot, and a wand, and a greater mana flask. That's pretty good. I'm happy with that. Let's see if we get movement speed on the boots. We did. My other pair of boots, remember to hold the shift key to compare. So if I put these on, I lose the rarity, but I gain a little bit of evasion and a lot of life regen. Quite frankly, for the early game, that's probably worth it. 9% rarity, not a big deal. It's nice to have it. Ooh, if I was playing a lightning spell sorceress, I would love that. Cast speed +1 crit spell damage. That's pretty nice. Yeah, I think these boots are slightly better. Losing the rarity is not a huge deal. Also, we got another support gem, so we could put something on Mace Strike. Let's see if we turn that off. What am I looking for? Maybe Brutality, actually. Could go Brutality. Also, Martial Tempo exists. Yeah, here we go. Martial Tempo, 25% more attack speed. I'd rather just have that in my auto attack, make it feel a lot better just like swinging at it. So pretty cool. Aw, poor old man trying to find his family. It's lost, man. No, no. I wonder what's gonna happen. End Lackland's suffering. How are we gonna do that? Why would I kill an innocent old man? He's just a poor dude. Like, he's just kind of upset about his family dying. It's fine. Why would I kill him over that? Why do I end his suffering? What do you mean end his suffering? Like, talk him down? Like, send him to better help? What are we doing? Oh, I guess we're killing him. Okay, that was quite a bit of damage. Get out of there. You see the attack speed difference with Martial Tempo is quite significant here. Nice heavy stun, attack. We're gonna put that down. Look at that attack speed difference. Oh man, Martial Tempo feels good. Almost killed him straight through the heavy stun there. Pretty crazy. Out of there. And he should be dead. Boom, got him. All right, give me a belt. That's really all I'm looking for here. Nice little belt. Skill gem is nice. Ring is part of a quest. Life flask. Rogue body armor seems pretty good, actually. My current body armor has only 84 armor, and that's with the mod. This one has 53 and 43 evasion on top of that. But I don't have the dex requirement, so we'll see if we can fit that in. We have the next skill gem here. I don't really care about anything else here, so I'm just going to pick up Earthquake and give it a +1 level. Very nice.
This. So
Okay, so we just unlocked the hooded one there, and you saw me click the Identify Items button. If you are running low on Wisdom Scrolls and you don't really want to spend your gold, they're only 25 gold each, so it's not a huge deal. But you can identify everything for free by simply talking to him, and you'll just, bam, do everything in your inventory like that. So keep that in mind if you don't want to spend the money. Also, he gives you a chance to refund your passives. I don't recommend you do this, right when you start out. You can't really make many mistakes going out your initial path here. But once you get, a few more levels, you start going over in these areas, refunding passives can be very, very helpful. All right, so we dropped our first rune here, the Storm Rune. So as you can see, if you socket it in a weapon, you get some extra damage. If you socket it in armor, you get a little bit of lightning res, and that is where those sockets on the gear that we had earlier come into play. I am not going to socket it right now because it doesn't really provide anything that useful. The res would be nice, I suppose, but I have to actually get a piece with good stats on it, plus the sockets for me to put it in. But not a bad find to start out with. Also, finally, here's a belt. Before I end the clip here, boom, we got a belt. So now we can put on the stone charm here into our slot. Bada bing, bada boom. Now we have temporary stun immunity every so often. Very nice. Also here, I just got another support gem, and I'm actually going to change out Fist of War for fast forward on Earthquake. Reason being that if we click this little arrow here, you can see that the jagged ground duration, which is the detonation of the big area of effect, is 4 seconds. If we take out Fist of War and we put in fast forward, that 4 seconds goes to 2.8. So an absolutely gargantuan reduction. So it's going to make the Earthquake just feel a lot nicer. We hit it and we only have to wait 2.8, which is still a very long time, let's be honest. But it's way better than 4 seconds. So I'm going to use that instead. And here is yet another boss fight. Mr. Crowbell. How you doing, Mr. Crowbell? Pop our war cry, pop our Earthquake. It's gonna cook, it's gonna smack him for some big boy damage. Looked like there was a bleed on him. Maybe it's from the initial, oh no, he's running. Get him! Get him! Why? Why? Come back here! Bonk, bonk, bonk. See ya, buddy. Sit the heck down. Okay. Oh, Exalted Orb. All right, gentlemen. That is a absolutely fantastic drop to get. If you get an Exalted Orb while you're playing through the campaign, you absolutely need to save it because this is the de facto trading currency with other players. I guarantee that if you're looking to make an upgrade, you can see the Exalted Orb effect is augments a rare item with a random new modifier. I guarantee that if you try to use that on an item instead of just trading it to another player, to buy an item that they already have, you're going to get so much more of a power spike. So definitely do not spend any Exalted Orbs that you find in your campaign playthrough. Just spend them at another player. Very nice drop. I'm playing solo self-found, obviously, so I'm not going to be able to use it for another player, but very nice drop. Also, the quest item that the Crowbell dropped here is the Book of Specialization. You grant 2 weapon set passive skill points. Now, the way this works is you consume it, and you actually just get straight up 2 passive skill points. Now, your weapon set is dictated by this little thing right here. So I have one set here, one set here, and the second set here, so I don't have anything equipped in my second set. The way that the specialization points work is that you spend 1 passive point, and then you can spend that in both of these sets. So one regular quote-unquote passive point right here, this is regular skill points, I can choose to spend them in a weapon set. And then you can choose to go up here for weapon set 1 and like down here for weapon set 2. However, as a new player, I strongly recommend that you just ignore this. Treat those books as just a free +2 passive points. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to put them in here and ignore the weapon set mechanic entirely. Very cool. All right, so this little mechanic here is called Ritual, and it's actually a teaser, so to speak, of one of the in-game mechanics once you beat the campaign. Right now, we're just going to interact with it on a very basic level. It's part of the campaign. We're doing towards one of this quests right here, the Ominous Altars quest. But I'll explain this a little more once we interact with it throughout the zone. That was extremely close. These guys are doing a bunch of chaos damage. Chaos damage is very dangerous because resistance for chaos is so much more rare than elemental damage. I might die here, actually. I'm getting swarmed like crazy. This is a difficult zone. Let's see. I think we cleared it. Oof. Yeah, that is not easy. I gotta be very careful getting swarmed like that again. All right, a little bit of boss fight here, Mr. King of the Mists. Let's see if we can take him out. I did not mean to just stand right on top of that. But we're fine, so it doesn't matter. Gonna miss him with the AoE, unfortunately. Whack him down, get some stun on him maybe. About halfway there, he's still teleporting. This guy's a very cool fight. Smile. Big smile face. I just tanked it again. I don't think he's that dangerous, actually, if I can just tank that 2 times in a row and not really have any repercussions. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I think we're fine. Oh. Okay, half health, we're fine. Don't worry about it. That's a big slam. That's a big slam. Okay, we're fine. Don't worry about it, guys. We're fine. Gonna get the stun off of him. And that's a stun. That's earthquake. Slam, slam, slam. Bonk. I'll have a very good weapon. I think that'll make a very big difference if I had a little more base damage in my weapon. Alright, you got to stop moving here, so I'm gonna get imprisoned. Okay, what's it supposed to do there? I don't know. Hopefully it doesn't imprison me. We're fine. That was another AoE attack. I'm just blind. Honestly, we're tanking it, so who cares? Not me. Not me. There it is. GG. See ya, buddy. We got the Gem Balloon Skull, plus 30 to max spirit. Cool. So spirit is a resource that we use over here, kind of like mana, but, oh, we get a spirit gem as well. Perfect. I was about to say, but we don't have anything to spend it on. All right, so we get auras, basically. Auras are just permanent buffs on your character. You can see this one reserves 30 spirit, reserves 30 spirit, reserves a 30 spirit. So for right now, I'm going to take Herald of Ash because this gives me some nice AoE clear. If I overkill a target, it ignites everything around them. So let's do this, slap it on. And then I think you have to, yep, you right click right here and boom, it is now active. We have 0 out of 30 spirit. That is good. We're reserving all of it and Herald of Ash is active. Also, we can interact with the ritual altar here. Again, that's what I was talking about with the precursor to the end game mechanic. And then we will get some random items in here. For me, none of these are particularly useful. I guess this is okay. These gloves have life. These gloves have damage. I kind of want damage right now. So you have a number of tribute right here. This is just based on the amount of monsters that you killed during the different ritual altars. So we have 683, excuse me, tribute. So I'm going to buy these for 304. I would like to take this Regal Orb, and there is a mechanic if you don't have enough tribute to take something called Defer. The button will be right here. You click Defer, and then you just, lock this item for the next time that you encounter Ritual. It'll be here for a decreased price, and you can keep deferring until you can finally afford the item. But this just being like the quest teaser version, you can't do that, unfortunately. Also, fun fact about your auras, your spirit reservers. You can socket in these cost multiplier gems. So magnified effect gives it 40% more area of effect. And it actually doesn't touch the spirit cost whatsoever. It has to specifically say reserves additional spirit for it to reserve additional spirit. So the cost multiplier of 120% literally does nothing. It just gives it straight up 40% more area of effect. And there are a bunch of other support gems as well that can affect certain auras in certain ways. So you can see the effect of Herald of Ash real quick. I overkill that target, boom, all of a sudden that guy gets ignited. Kill that guy, this guy gets ignited, so it just gives me a little faster clear speed. So spending skill points and other things will completely pause your game. That is much unlike in Path of Exile 1. So opening your skill menu here, opening your inventory here does not do that. But if I were to open anything that's full screen, like the passive tree, it completely pauses the game. You see my health bar is totally fine, even though there are enemies right next to me. So keep that in mind. All right, we just got another charm. This one makes us immune to freeze. I think that's a little more useful right now than immune to stun. So I'm going to go ahead and socket that on instead.
Destruction.
Ooh, very nice. Ask and ye shall receive. Here's a pretty nice upgrade. See, my current weapon is 14 to 26 damage. This one is 29 to 39. Now, it doesn't have the +2 to melee skills, nor the elemental damage, but that base damage is significantly higher, and it's going to be much, much better overall, even without literally any additional stats. We will use a transmute orb on it momentarily, though. You give it a little bit more. Same thing with this chest piece that they just dropped, the Iron Curious. I don't know how to say the word. I'm going to be honest with you guys. This one only has 84 armor, but has +24 as the mod. This one literally has nothing and has higher armor, so slapping that on. See how much damage this new mace does.
Face me. Destruction.
Not too shabby. Gotta get a stun, too. What was that? Freaking ballista just came in out of nowhere. Crazy. So this is the difference that just a little bit of armor can do. That's going to hit me. Oh, no, it's not. We're good. That was a massive AoE. Holy crap. I was going to say that's the difference that a little bit of armor can do on your character. I'm sitting at 48% physical mitigation right now. So I'm not too scared of this guy, I'll be honest. Should hit me again. See ya, buddy.
Death is not not revenge
Got a
enough for
level
what
5
you've
skill
done.
gem. Very nice. We will slap that onto nothing. Never mind. That's it. GG.
Gruesome creature.
So right there, I almost died because those blue guys right here, they say breaks armor. See that right there? That means that my 49%, my beautiful 48%, I suppose, physical damage reduction turned into a 0. So definitely be on the lookout for that. All right, another mini boss fight here with the good old Candle Mass.
What madness is this?
Let's see what he has to offer.
Destruction.
Can you get away from the Psalm of Madness so I don't misclick it, please? Please? Alright, there's a stun. Any second now. Okay, apparently you just can't be stunned out of that attack. That's very interesting. Okay, man. Give me some broadcast on that next time. What the heck, man? Get him here, no problem. Jeez, man. No problem, I say. So, the reason why you saw me swap my helmet at the very beginning of this fight, if you saw that, is because he deals fire damage, very obviously, right? And this helmet has fire resistance on it. 14. The helmet that I had, oh my gosh, just had a lot of armor. So I put the fire res helmet on, and that definitely just saved my life, I'm pretty sure. Alright, but let's just smack this orbit transportation onto this bad boy and see what we get. Life and rarity. I am definitely keeping that on. Goodbye. Alright, so this is the final boss of Act 1 down there. You can see by the fact that it says Arena right there. So what I'm going to do is go back to town real quick and check the vendors one last time. So I'm looking for anything with life, maybe some resistances. We're just going to have to see. Maybe some damage on a weapon. So let's check our good boy Renly here first. He's got some staves. Not really what I'm looking for. Got a chest piece with life and cold res. Mine just has armor. It's energy shield based though. I don't really want energy shield. That armor is quite useful. What about this one? We have some pretty good gloves. If those had movement speed, I would really like those. 15 movement speed, but it costs 3,000 gold. Those would be perfect. Actually, those would be very, very, very good. Fortunately for me, I only have 1,800, so even if I sold everything here, I would not have enough. Unfortunate. So what's the next best thing to do if you can't afford something? Gamble, of course. So let's go ahead and look at jewelry slots. We can't afford anything there. What's my weakest link here? Probably my chest piece. So let's go random body armor for 1,000. What do we get? Yeah, that's not quite it. Well, there goes 1,000 gold. So actually, before I go into the boss arena there, I forgot to do the Finding the Forge quest in Ogrim Village. Ogum Village, excuse me. So I'm going to go back to here real quick. Alright, given that's a checkpoint, this is probably where his workshop is. And wow, would you look at that. I can't hit this guy. He is the evasive modifier. Evasive, very cool, very nice.
Destruction.
Get out of here. Bonk, bonk. Very nice. And I got a wide belt from that guy as well. Wide belt is very, very, very nice. That is increased flask charges gained compared to mine, which is just mana recovered from flasks. So I'd rather have, more charges to use stuff. All right, and then doing that quest unlocks the salvage bench here from Renly. What we can do here is two things. So this thing has a socket, so if I were to salvage it, I would get a currency shard for a piece of currency that allows me to post sockets on other gear. And this one you can see is quality 6%. If I salvage this, which I will, it'll give me an armor scrap, which is a currency item that you can use to get quality on armor. Quality simply increases the implicit value. So if I put an armor scrap on here, it'd give me anywhere from like 1 to 2% quality, maximum of 20%. And, I would get a little bit more armor. But for now, it's just useful to salvage those things. So you get the currency for later on when you get better pieces of gear. Also, I just remembered these two unique items in my stash here. If I sell these, I get 1,000 gold each. And then I could buy the boots from this guy for 3,088. So I am absolutely going to do that. 15% movement speed with some cold res. Pretty big upgrade over just 10% movement speed with some regen there. So definitely smacking those on for the movement speed. Very nice. Alright, so doing that quest for Renly overwrote my waypoint here at the manor, but I did get all the checkpoints, so I should be able to simply teleport to the final checkpoint. We just got to find out which one it is. Probably this one. Nope. Maybe this one? Nope. Maybe this one. This is the one. Ladies and gentlemen, let's fight the final act boss. This guy is notoriously difficult for a very first playthrough, so be extremely careful with his attacks. They're pretty well telegraphed, but he's a very fast boss, not to spoil anything here. But I should be okay with almost 400 health. I have 21 cold res, he does some cold damage. I have 54% fizz reduction, 20% evasion, should be alright. But you never know. Also, I apologize for talking quiet throughout the last part of the video right here. I am trying not to wake anybody up in the house right now. Baby's asleep and wife is asleep, so... Alright, I should be able to tank this guy. Oh, wow, we have very nice damage, actually. Very, very, very fast damage. See how fast he is, though? See what I'm talking about? That's crazy. Crack out of his mind. Bonk, bonk. I want to pop my flask if I can avoid it. My region kind of tipping me back up here.
Open the cage.
I can't really pop that.
Give me what you promised.
I think not.
Should get stunned here very soon.
Since you are too weak.
And there's the stun.
One who can.
Gonna smack him a few more times. Probably don't need an earthquake. Smack, smack, smack. And there we go. Alright, here we go. He's now transforming into Big Bad Werewolf Gianor. Gianor, the putrid wolf, as you can see. Watch out here. This is the cold damage part. I don't think I got hit by that, but okay. Let's put that down. That's going to hit me too. I'm just going to pop my life flask. He's about to slam the ground. He is indeed. He's about to blow these up too, so let's not get hit by them. Beautiful. He's teleporting. He's coming in like a meteor. He's freaking... Where's that guy? Radon? General Radon coming in. Okay, this is the annoying part. I might be able to stun him out of it. That was so close. So he'll give you an audio telegraph. He'll do a voice line as soon as he comes in, dashes in. I didn't dodge it. I have actually a lot of armor, so I can tank this. If you're playing an evasion character or an energy shield character, you're probably going to take a lot of damage from this, so just be very careful. Almost dodged that just by walking. Should have kept walking. I have my volume so quiet, I can't even hear him doing the voice lines. I'm just talking over it. So definitely don't talk over this guy. Just listen for his voice line and then dodge. Should be pretty easy. You don't need like frame perfect timing or anything. It's a pretty big grace period, I think. Alright, so it completely reset his stun meter, unfortunately. Don't do it. How are you supposed to get out of that? I actually don't understand. How are you supposed to get out of that? Alright, smack him a few more times. Should be able to stand. Yeah, not right there. Yeah, literally not right there. Alright, don't get hit by that. Okay, I got hit. Oh, that should have killed me. That should have killed me, I'm gonna be honest with you. Also, if I run out of flash charges, that is extremely bad. Extremely bad. And he's gonna... Yep. Okay. Okay, I'm not dead. I'm not dead. We're good. Smack him. Boom. 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 Come on, Earthquake. I need you. I need you, Earthquake. That's a big bleed. That's a big bleed. Okay, don't get hit by this one. Just stand in the middle. Very nice. Very nice. Dodge that. Might be able to get him here first try. I'm gonna be playing hardcore, so it better be first try. Just gonna dodge all that. Boom. He's going in for the meteor attack. We dodged it, and he's gonna hit by Earthquake. That was beautiful. All right, this is actually a good phase for me because I get some flash charges from the ads here, and I can just tank his attacks coming in. He's not that scary, so this is very nice for me. Okay, maybe not that nice.
The pack suffered but endured.
Oops.
Now in tune.
There we go. Just the end of the voice line, rather, not the start of it, obviously. Just at the end of the voice line, look at these flash charges, baby. Oh, we're chilling, boys. We're chilling. We got this guy on lockdown. I have to make a massive mistake today. Speak of the, you know, we'll see what happens. Knock on wood. But I have to make a pretty big mistake to lose this. That could have been bad right there. Alright, so that phase inflicts corrupted blood when you get hit. Watch out. Ooh, that slow almost got me. Dude, what is going on right now? That could have been bad. Okay, we should be good. What's he doing? Jumping in. Okay. Come on, Earthquake. I'm gonna get a stun here. We're good. We got him, boys. We got him. Stun him. Come on. No shot. That's not gonna kill me, right? Alright, we're good. My last flash charge. I gotta get the stun. Let's freaking go, boys. Let's freaking go. Get him, Earthquake. Yes! Let's go. First try. I'm not expecting to stay in hardcore for this playthrough. I will stay on solo self-on, obviously. But that's pretty sweet, man. That's definitely a skill check boss. Very happy to get that first try, especially on melee.
It consumes
See what kind of
my
loot we
being.
get.
Yep,
I
yep, yep,
found
yep, 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 yep.
messages
Yep, yep, yep,
from
yep,
the
yep, yep.
desert.
Dude, can you just give me my loot?
Find
That's all I care about.
Please.
Waiting for the loot drop. There we go.
We must make haste.
That's pretty embarrassing, honestly. I see what the boots have. Literally nothing useful. Sick. All right, well, I'm going back to town then. See ya. All right, and then here at the end of every single act, I'll just do a brief overview of my current character's gear and passive tree, starting with the weapon. Percent fizz is pretty much all we can ask for. Not too shabby. Helmet has a little bit of life and rarity with some base type armor. Pretty good. Body armor literally has no extra mods, just the 96 armor. So once we get an orbit transmutation, I'll just slap it on there. First ring has some damage and res. Second ring has some res and life. Pretty good. These gloves have plus 10 life, but more importantly, plus 1 level of all melee skills. That's about a 5 to 6% increase in damage to a single skill. So overall, plus 1 melee skills, given that it's scaling every single skill. You can see here the earthquake. The damage that matters is the aftershock. We can see the average damage per use, 184. We take that off, it goes down to 172. And then that also applies to, Mace Strike. Mace Strike's damage goes from 173 to 161. So pretty dang good. The belt has basically no modifiers that are useful, just the charm slot 1, so we have the immune to freeze charm. That's the only way we have that. And then the boots are actually quite good. 15% movement speed is the highest at the current level, and then a little bit of res on top of that. Passive tree is quite simple. It just came out here, got melee damage, melee damage, melee damage. Got some area of effect because we are using Mace Strike, which has the AoE tag, and Earthquake, which has the AoE tag, so more area effect and damage is quite nice. Going through here, get armor, a little bit of regen there, more area there, and now I'm making my way down here towards this path to get blurred motion because accuracy rating is very, very important. Attack speed feels quite nice. Dexterity gives us accuracy rating, and then this node gives us percent attack speed, percent dex, and percent accuracy. Very nice. So as you just saw right there, when you enter a new act, you get a minus 10% to all resistances. These can go into negative values. So we went from 25 to 15 here. We went from 21 to 11 there. We went from 10 to 0 there. The only res that cannot go negative is actually your chaos resistance. As I said earlier in the video, chaos res is much rarer to find on gear. And therefore, I guess they're throwing us a bone here and not putting that into negative because that would be quite detrimental. But just remember, as you go through each act, you're getting minus 10 to res as soon as you get to the next one. And it looks like we are chilling. Very nice. What do we get? Ooh, a unique item. What's that? What's that? Let's see. Boom. Mana regen rate, cold and chaos res. You know what? I'll take it. Mana regen rate's kind of useful. Cold and chaos res also kind of useful. Let's go. All right. So once you find the ancient seal here in the Trader's Passage, I highly recommend that you skip this fight until you are much stronger. This is a pretty crazy fight, and the result of this is being able to ascend. Basically choose a class on top of your class. Right now I'm a warrior. Once I kill this boss, I get access to a new mechanic. It's called the Trial of the Sekimas. That is also very difficult, so I don't recommend that you fight this boss until you're ready to do the Trial of the Sekimas, which is basically not going to be until the very end of Act 2. So, Ancient Seal, Trader's Passage, ignore until the end of Act 2. Oh my gosh. Woo, doggy. All right, breaks armor, conjures lightning storms. That was not a good combo. Almost died right there. Dude better give me some good loot. This is crazy. Okay, rare studded great club. That actually is pretty dang good. What does it have? +3 melee skills. Oof. If it had damage on it, I would absolutely put that on. But my current one has 49 to 73 damage. That's the base value that all the skills use. And has attack speed on top of that, so... Oh, if that had anything but the 2 to 5 fire damage, I would put that on 100%. Unfortunate. Alright, so there I kind of forgot about in my stash tab. I had a bunch of things with sockets from Act 1, and I told you guys once you unlock the salvage bins, that's what you're doing, getting Artificer Shards by salvaging the socketed items, so... Definitely don't forget about any socketed stuff in your stash. Also, any rare jewelry that drops or jewelry that you turn into rare, use transmute and then a regal orb on it, turn it into rare. I highly recommend that you save it and put it in a tab or something just that you remember. It doesn't have to be named Reforge, because you unlock very soon a station that's additional to the salvage bench called the Reforging Station, and all that you do there is you take 3 of the same item, same rarity, and that turns it into another item of the same rarity, just with new rolls. So in this case, this ring doesn't have anything useful aside from the implicit of cold resistance. So if I get 2 other rare sapphire rings, I can then re-roll them at the reforging station in hopes that the stats here, the lightning damage, cold damage, dexterity, become something useful like resistances or life or something. So rare jewelry specifically, because jewelry is just much rarer to get as a drop. All right, here's another league mechanic called Essence. So there's an imprisoned monster right here. The Tarnished Scarab is trapped inside. And if I interact with that, it will break free. And once I kill it, I will receive the Essence of Torment, which I don't know what it does off the top of my head, but let's find out. And every essence essentially turns a normal normal item into a magic item. So a white into a blue with 1 guaranteed mod of a certain type. It doesn't guarantee a good roll, but it does guarantee like a life modifier or a fire modifier, etc. So let's kill this guy, and we shall see what the Essence of Torment does. If I had to guess, I would think it would be like honestly like a chaos modifier, so it sounds like physical modifier. That's pretty useful. So upgrade a normal, so a white into a blue with 1 physical modifier. Interesting. All right, we got a tier 7 skill gem earlier from a quest reward, and I just hit level 22, so I can actually use it, and I'm going to take Leap Slam, the first movement skill that I have access to. Very nice. So Leap Slam looks like this. Honestly, if you're coming from PoE 1, you're probably going to laugh right now. But hey, it's better than nothing. I can jump over small gaps with it. I can jump over enemies. So if they try and get me stuck, I can just leap out of there. So not bad at all. And with Leap Slam, there is a delay at the end of the cast like that. So I'm holding my movement key the whole time here. But I can say I'm stuck for like, what, a quarter second there at the end. So if you hit a dodge roll right at the end of it like that, you're actually saving a little bit of time, and it's actually efficient to traverse the map like that. So just get in the habit, if you're using Leap Slam, leap, and then hit the dodge roll key as soon as you land, saves that final part of the animation. Also, here's where the Shockwave Totem comes in handy. I forgot to say that I've added that in, because that's a pretty easy gem to just slap on your setup. And you can see right there, it just absolutely obliterated everything. Shockwave Totem, very, very nice. Highly recommend. Temporal Bubble, everybody's favorite modifier. Get out of there. Oh, shoot, I'm stuck. I'm dead. I'm dead. Yep, I'm dead. Dang it, man. Well, I guess that goes, there goes the hardcore part of the playthrough. I didn't expect a bunch of small beetles to body block me when the big beetle had Temporal Bubble. To be fair, I shouldn't have leap slammed on top of the big beetle. Oh well. Like I said, I'm still going to play this playthrough. Just continue in softcore instead of hardcore. Pretty much nothing else changes. I'll do a slash death count at the end of each act, I suppose. So, yeah, let's get to it. Okay, well, one thing changes here, and that is my currency is now gone, because all that currency is on my stash in the hardcore solo self-found league, not the regular solo self-found league. So it seems like I have to kind of restart here a little bit, which is fine. I have all my characters' gear and stuff on my inventory at least, but that does kind of suck. Oh well. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes, as they do say.
Oh no, not you guys again. Get away from me. Get away from me. Shockwave Totem, save me.
Oh, I'm kind of salty that I died. Such a stupid death, too. Dude, what is that? Dodge and weave, baby. Dodge and weave.
Dude, what is that cone? You gotta be kidding me.
Not dead yet, baby. Red boy. Red boy, take some of that. Oh, baby, this is a fun room.
It's a trap.
This is a very fun room. Especially with all the AoE we have. Jump over here. Do the same thing. Very nice. Very, very nice. Well, I guess that's 2 deaths. I'm going to start playing a little more recklessly here in softcore. It's funny how it's lightning damage that is taking me down every time, given that I have 0 lightning res. And don't worry, I have a little bit on this ring. Without this ring, I'd have -10. So it looks like resistances are pretty important, guys.
Until God.
Nice, just got a pretty massive upgrade here. It's a Jade Amulet, that's what I'm currently using. Mine has cold res, a little bit of armor. This one has life, strength, dexterity. So I like a lot more life, so I am putting that on for sure. And every point of dexterity gives you 5 accuracy rating. Every point of strength gives you 2 life. This has a total of, 74 life and a butt ton of accuracy rating. The mana and the energy shield, unfortunately, aren't that useful. Very nice. Also, this topaz ring here hits some pretty good stats. I think I'm going to put it on instead of that iron ring. Bada bing, bada boom. Resistances are looking a lot better now. Also, my life has gone up quite a bit as well. Pretty nice. All right, we just dropped a regal orb, so I think I'm going to just slap it on the ring we just got, and boom. Mana. Unfortunate, but hey, at least we tried. Big boss fight coming in hot. Let's see if we can flawless this guy. Okay, not flawless. Let's see if we can just not die. How about that? All I'm looking for is to not die.
I need more time.
Let's go. Easy clap, baby. That guy's extremely tanky. Orb of Alchemy, very nice. So this is like the transmute orb, but it upgrades a normal into a rare with 4 modifiers instead of a magic with only 1 modifier. I also got a double ruby ring. That's kind of interesting. We also got the flame ruby. Very cool. That's the quest item. All right, nice.
More foul magics.
All right, to the boss. Let's see what we can get it done. Hopefully. I think I'm going down, gentlemen. I think I'm going down. Trolled too hard with my flasks. Yep, there it is. GG. Dang it, dude. Look at the health bars. Come on. Come on, man. This is lame. Dude, come on. What? No way that hit me, man. Are you... Okay. I don't want to kill him too early here. I think he's weaker right now. Oh, I'm out of flask again. Sick, man. Because this guy's just freaking stomping on me. Kill him here, we're good. I have to kill him here. Yep, no, okay. Yeah, I think my life flask is just too low. Let me go back to town real quick and check it. What kind of life flask do you have? Yeah, giant life flask is what I'm supposed to have right here. So 340 over 4. This is 273 over 5, so this is significantly better. I could use this, but it recovers from my mana, so I'll just probably drain all my mana doing that. I'm just going to buy this one instead, and this should be a free fight now. Oh yeah, much better. Look at that. Much better. Why would you spawn the ball right on me? Dude, what is this, man? What is this fight? This fight just sucks. This fight actually just... What is going on? Just die. Okay, yeah, just needed the better life flask. Literally just boom, done. Oh, that's lame. Yeah, don't be me, guys. Don't be me. Exalted orb. Wow, another one. Let's go, dude. Well, I mean, that's actually my first exalted orb because the other ones were on hardcore and I no longer have them. RIP. So right there, I just tried to put a support gem into perfect strike and it wouldn't let me because I had magnified effect up here on my shockwave totem and I only have 5 intelligence. So my maximum intelligence gems is 1. If you did not know, for every 5 of these stats, you get 1 additional gem of that color. So red for strength, green for dex, blue for int. So I simply just take out magnified effect because I'm not actually really using shockwave totem anymore. So if that ever shows up with you guys, just remember you can just swap around your gems and make the correct decision with a little bit of tinkering. Did it miss?
destruction. Serpent treachery.
Dang, it's kind of wombo comboed right there. Do you guys see that? Sheesh. Sheesh. All right, set a perfect one. Here we go. Bonk. And it didn't do any damage. Okay. It's cool. It's cool. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Here it comes. There we go. Sit down. Oh, and these guys are all gonna blow up too much. Oh, she got out of it. Oh, get out of there. And she didn't die from the ignite because she went down. All right, here we go. Bonk. What? How is that missing? It has to be bug. That has to be bug. That's crazy. I'm gonna tank everything. I don't care. Get auto attack, woman. Sit down. Goodbye. What'd you get? All right, we just dropped a temple maul with 2 sockets. So sockets are very important for overall damage on a weapon because of a certain type of rune called an iron rune, which I think I have 2 of, which is perfect because there's 2 sockets. So already this weapon as a white item has basically the same damage as my current weapon. So if we can get fizz damage on top of that, not including the sockets, it's gonna be great. All right, level 28, let's go back to town. Slap an alchemy orb on this bad boy. See what we get. See if we have 2 iron runes. We could be chilling. 3, 2, 1, boom. It's got flat fizz. We have 1 iron rune, so we'll just put 1 in right now to give it 20% extra fizz right on the base value there. And it has physical damage, leeches life, and mana. Actually, both of those are very good. So overall, this is a quite gargantuan upgrade over my current weapon, and especially more so once we get, again, that last iron rune. Actually, you know what? I'm going to YOLO my Exalted Orb. I do not recommend you do this because I'm playing solo self-found. I have no other use for them aside from to do what I'm exactly about to do. For you, you should trade another player with this 1 Exalt. I guarantee you get a much, much, much better upgrade. Here we go. What do I get? Lightning damage. Well, I guess it's something, right? And that is why I love Bone Shatter. Leveling as melee, if you're not using Bone Shatter and Leap Slam, you're kind of trolling. Ow. Alright, Torgal, here you go, buddy. Bonk. Exalted Orb. Thanks, man. Very poggers. I lost a life flask. I know last time that when I didn't upgrade my life flask at the right time, it really wasn't good. So I'm going to upgrade that as soon as possible. All right, this is the last zone here in Act 2 before the final boss. So what I'm going to do is grab the waypoint real quick, and then we're going to go do our Ascendancy class, the thing that I recommend you guys hold off on in Trader's Passage until this moment. Well, now we're here, so I'm going to go ahead and grab that, and let's head on over to the Trader's Passage and get our Ascendancy class going. All right, here we are, arriving at the Ancient Seal. Fight blah 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 blah. It's actually her name. You're about to find out.
Now, Jingak, I prove myself.
Bambala. Oh my gosh. Okay, I think we're okay, guys. I think might have been a little over level for this one. Okay, so now we have access to the trial of the Sekimas to get our Ascendancy class. And you can see compared to the Barya that we got earlier, this one is called Balbala's Barya. This one is the Jin Barya. So this one is a consumable item. You only get 1 try. This one is a quest item, so you can just repeatedly go and go and go. Plus the area level is lower, which means the monsters are easier. So definitely use your green one, not any of the other ones that you may have found.
War Knights.
Nice. That's literally exactly what you're looking for. All right, so here in the Trial of the Sekimas, you get the Barrios, you put them in, and then you have relic slots here. So you can see that this is a 2x1. Boom, there you go. You put it in. I used an augment orb on this one to get honor resistance. So the way that this mechanic works is that you have a separate HP bar called honor. And honor resistance is much like elemental resistance is, where it caps at 75%. And if you have 0 honor res versus 75, you are taking 4 times more damage. So it's very, 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 very important to cap your honor res as soon as possible. This one getting plus 10 right at the start is massive. So we're going to click confirm here, and it's going to show a screen once we go through the door here. Or not. I guess we're just getting straight into it. So there's going to be different trials, tribulations that you're going through here. The hourglass trial is probably the easiest, honestly, because if you can't kill the monsters, you can literally just run in a circle until the timer expires, and then you win. But the goal here is to kill the rare monsters. It'll reduce this timer heavily. And once you've killed all the rare monsters, you can just move on to the next area or after the timer expires. Here's the first rare monster. We're going to just perfect strike and boom. Be careful not to take damage because, like I said, you have a separate HP bar honor, and it's extremely hard to recover your honor. So it's basically just a limited number of mistakes. Once you make them, boom, your Sanctum is done. Sorry, Trial of the Sekimas is done. It's called Sanctum in Path of Exile 1. So you're going to hear me maybe say that a couple times. Sanctum, Trial of Sekimas, same exact thing. And then after every single trial, you're going to get some kind of reward based on what the trial was. So now I have a choice. It's kind of like Slay the Spire if you've played a game like that, where you just like choose your path and then you can see all the arrows going everywhere. You can't really see that far ahead of you, but there are different boons and afflictions you can get. Some of them will like reduce the number of rooms you see. Some of them will increase it. Some of them will increase your damage. Some of them will decrease your damage, etc., etc. I'll explain more as we move on here. So this one is a gauntlet trial. We have some colored doors that need to be unlocked. So guess what? We have to find the lever to open the colored door. Pretty much is that simple. Here's the blue lever, so we're just gonna wonk. Also, I just figured I would record the entire trial here because I'm sure it's kind of relevant for the first time, seeing exactly how you can get through all the trials and whatnot in real time. Tapestry relic also could be pretty good. Nice. Yeah, it is. Heck yeah, baby. Honor resistance. That's literally what we're looking for. Unfortunately, I can't back out right now, but if I lose this trial, I think I can back out. Actually, do we even have space? I don't think you have space in your first one for a 3x1 relic. You might. I don't remember. Trial complete. All right, I guess that was it. We only had to hit one door. I guess the red lever was for like a treasure chest or something. So here I took the reward, or rather the path that restores my honor. So I spend 5 of this sacred water. This is the currency for each run. You'll find like a merchant and stuff, and you can spend the water at them, or you can do it like that. Spend 5 to restore a bunch of honor. I just took the safe route there. So the next one here, I'll probably go with the large sacred water fountain because, like I just said, it's the currency for the run. So it's extremely important if you find like a vendor or something to have a bunch of it. So I'll go here, and then I'll probably go lose all water on floor completion. Well, guess what? We're only doing 1 floor. This is the first one, so this is literally free. So we're definitely going here and then to that bronze key next. It's always good here in the Trial of the Sekimas to plan ahead, because that is what's going to end the vast majority of your runs, is if you just randomly click on stuff at the time and you're like, oh, that sounds good, I'll just take this right now. You always have to be thinking ahead to what the next penalty or the next reward might be, because that will drastically shape up your run. I think I got hit by the trap there on accident. Whoops. Let's back up. Wait for that. There we go. I shouldn't get hit by this one. Just roll through. Also, your dodge roll does have iframes attached to it, especially for the traps. You'll see me with some of the flamethrower traps. I'll just roll right through them just fine. Might only have one. No, there we go. So that's a red and green door. So we pulled the red lever. Now we need to go pull the green lever, which is probably over here. It is right there. That's the exit. All right. So we need to go back around this way. Look at that. Red door is open. And we have a flamethrower trap, so we're just going to run with it. Let's just run through it like that. Roll, roll, roll. Boom. There you go. Took no damage. Beautiful. Here is the green door. You're also going to find like random chests and stuff around. I would not recommend that you go out of your way to get them. It's just like in the regular campaign. A chest is a chest. Could have something good. It probably doesn't. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your honor, more importantly. Trying to go for some random chest that doesn't even give you anything. All right, lose all water on floor completion. That's where we're going. I don't care what the next one is, so we're just going to click that. Blood Chalice. Here's another challenge. This is just kill the rare monsters. Unlike the time trial, you have to kill the rare monsters to progress here. I actually kind of like this one more anyway. I am stunned or something right now. I literally couldn't move right there. That was weird. All right, let's try to up a perfect strike, and boom. Should have got it. That is a one shot if I've ever seen one. Oh, you got to be kidding me with that HP. All right, what if that's honor res? That's going to be so crazy if that's honor res. Ooh, honor restored. Honor restored's okay, but you definitely want honor resistance. I think the other rare was on the other side. Yeah, he was. Well, I got to go over here now. Whee! Please, Sam, carry me. Also some boots here. Other white boots. I was gonna ID them, see if it got movement speed. Turns out they don't have movement speed. I think boots, as an implicit, should have movement speed. I don't really understand why they don't. Okay. Wait, how did I just complete the trial when there are 2 of them? What? You're supposed to kill every rare for this. What just happened? I don't think this guy was supposed to be duplicated. I think that's a bug. It said trial complete. I could leave right now. This is clearly a rare enemy, though. And the trial is definitely to kill all rare enemies. I'm so glad I chose to kill that guy. Exalted Orb. Poggers. Again, I know I have said it a couple times, and I'm going to stress it. Do not use your Exalted Orbs if you are in the trade league. If you can trade with other players, do not use these. You absolutely want to just trade them to another player and get some big money. What I mean by that is you can get a much stronger item from another player for a single Exalted Orb, guaranteed it, no doubt in my mind, than if you were to just randomly slap it on one of your items. Gold key, very nice. Greatly restores honor, but burdens you with an affliction. I would recommend that you only do this if you're like about to die. Clearly my HP bar is full, so I'm not gonna bother with that. But this can save your run. This would restore like literally 1,000 honor probably. But the afflictions are really bad. Like, I'm not kidding. The boons that you get can range from like pretty useful to like actually useless. The afflictions, the worst affliction is still pretty dang bad. On a scale from 1 to 10, I say the worst affliction's like a 4 out of 10 in terms of like detriment to your character, whereas the like the worst boon is like literally a 1 out of 10 or a 0 out of 10. So it's quite literally just not worth it to risk getting a minor affliction, because the worst minor afflictions are very bad. There's one where you just straight up are taken to a different room than what you selected. So like when I was talking about planning it out, yeah, that doesn't happen anymore. You just click on a room and you just pray. You just full send. And that's a minor affliction, by the way. Another minor affliction is you can only see 1 room ahead. Or sorry, you can see 1 fewer room ahead, down to a minimum of 0. Another minor affliction, you can't see rewards, so you don't know what you're choosing. Another minor affliction, you can't see afflictions, so you don't know what you're choosing. Like, the afflictions are so much worse. I cannot stress that. Now I could go here and ignore this. You have the choice to use this shrine to restore your honor, so I could just ignore that and then go to the vendor. I do have 398 sacred water, so I think I'm going to do that actually, because the vendor, you have no evasion, doesn't really matter. I have 27% evasion. It's like that's something, I guess, but not a big deal. So I think I'm going to go here and simply ignore the honor restoration at the end of it, simply because I want that merchant, and that's the only path that'll take me to the merchant. So that's the thought process there. We'll see if it pays off. It's not a guarantee that the merchant actually gives me something useful. It's probably like a, I don't know, 30% chance if I had to guess, especially with only 398 sacred water. You can also kill enemies for sacred water. So if I just leap slam on top of this guy, it's gonna, oh, I guess I'll just kill him with it. I'll just make strike that guy. Look at that, 7 sacred water. Speak of the sacred water. Yummy. I feel like I'm streaming right now. Just have to have the freaking endless monologue. The exposition spouting of a streamer. Oh, the life of a content creator. We have it so hard, guys, I promise. You don't understand. Hey, anyway, hope you guys are enjoying the video. If you guys are watching this exact part of the video and you've been watching on your first session, drop a comment and say, I'm here, smile face or something. I don't know, man. It's always cringe to ask for comments and stuff like that, but I'm genuinely curious because I know I've been editing this video as I go, and I know this video for a fact is already like an hour and a half long or something. So if you literally are still on your first watch right now, poggers, dude. You're poggers. That's all I want to say. Thank you. And I genuinely hope it's helped. Sorry, that was my water. I have a very sore throat today. I don't know why. Oop, almost got hit there. That was close. So you see with the traps there, by the way, it's just freaking bum rush, dude. Don't think about it. The more you think about traps, the more you're going to get hit by them. Just freaking roll. Just go in there and roll. If you're going to sit there and go, oh, watch out, oh, I got to start step, oh, watch out for this one. Oh, you're just going to get hit. All right, so here, obviously, restore 231 honor. I'm not going to do that and gain a random minor affliction. No, thank you. I'm just going to click the merchant. Thank you. Goodbye. Another gauntlet. Holy moly, I'm getting unlucky with gauntlets. But this is the final room before the boss, which is pretty cool. We just have to make sure we don't die to the boss. Which, after you fight the boss that you're on the first floor, this goes for pretty much every boss. Once you've killed a boss, you pretty much understand it. That's one of the things I greatly like about Path of Exile 2, is once you learn the movesets, it's like, that's it. That's freaking it, bro. A lot of the fights give you ample timing and stuff like that. It's not really just a stat check. Unlike in Path of Exile 1, a lot of the fights are just stat checks, quite frankly. So you'll see me do this boss, and it'll make a lot of sense. But the first time I fought this guy, I think I failed him like 4. I think I only failed him 3 times. But it's very, very, very frustrating. A lot of people are upset that this mechanic is required for ascending. In Path of Exile 1, the ascension mechanic is called the Labyrinth. And it's kind of annoying, but it's not nearly as annoying as Sanctum. Again, that's a league in Path of Exile 1 Sanctum, which is what this mechanic is taken from, essentially. Sanctum is... it's pretty frustrating at times. Like I said, the afflictions are so much worse than the boons. Now, don't get me wrong, there are some pretty good boons. Did I just waste my time going that way, by the way? What did I just do? Yeah, I just could have walked in here and finished the trial. My bad. There are some good boons for sure, but in my mind, this is a roguelike game mode, right? It's like Slay the Spire, as I said at the start, and there's just nothing cool. Nothing pops about it, you know? All right, so here we go. We have 411 honor. We can literally buy anything here. Let's see. Do we have anything useful? That's actually insane. Nothing here is useful. If I was continuing the run, a lot of these would be useful. However, this is a 1-floor run. The first one that you do is only 1 floor. So I'm about to fight the final boss. So it doesn't actually matter what I click here. I'm just going to restore my honor. All right. Here we go. That's actually so unlucky. Like I said, it was like a 30% chance. But I was talking about like a good upgrade. To get literally nothing useful there is quite obnoxious. That's... All right, he's going to start by blowing up, so just back up. You can do like 1 attack, get in there real quick. After he blows up the first time, you can just walk in. You have a few seconds. Hit my perfect strike real quick. Bonk. Holy, that damage is disgusting. Also, I shocked him. Dude, that's insane that I shocked him there. So shock is a very powerful mechanic because it just increases your damage by the shock percentage. So a 20% shock means you're dealing 20% more damage to the target, which is disgusting. Also, this is exactly why I recommend that you just simply over-level before you do this. Oh, if I hit that Bone Shatter, it would have been tons of damage. Freaking missed it. Omega lol. This is exactly why I recommend that you over-level, because it makes this fight an absolute joke. I am pretty much at no risk of losing the run here. So I'm just dodging out of the way. The only other scary part of this fight is right there, actually. Perfect timing. He's going to blow up again, so just back up. When he gets on all 4s like that and hunches forward, just back the heck up. All right, sick. That is the Trial of the Sekimas. We can get some loot here. Theoretically, we actually got some loot. Wow, that's awesome. See if we get honor resistance again. No honor res, no honor res. That's all you're looking about is honor resistance. Now, if we were continuing the run, here's the merchant again, so you can buy more items here. Actually, at the end of the run, she sells you relics. Forgot about that. So check the relics at the end here if you want. But this is why we're here, the Altar of Ascendancy. Now, I've only made 1 character so far. It's the Warbringer. In this case, I kind of want to go for the Titan because I already did the Warbringer. So let me just try out the Titan, see what he's all about. I'm going to hit the sick animation, hit the T-pose real quick, hit the skibidi, as they say. I think they say that, maybe. Also remember to use your keys. So I have 3 bronze keys and 1 golden key. You can also hit the Keth Forge if you don't want to buy a relic. Keth Forge converts your leftover water into keys, so I'm going to click that. Boom, I got a silver key. Very nice. So over here at the gold cache, we got a small relic, which could actually be kind of good because we will have to run Sanctum again for a Sensi class in the future. However, I kind of want loot. My boots are pretty good, though. 15% movement speed. The odds of getting boots with 15 movement speed and a resist are kind of low, but it's not impossible. I'm going for the boots. Let's see what happens. All right, well, we got 1 boots, and they have no movement speed. Well, oh well. We'll never know what's in the gold relic cache. We will know what's in the... This one, though. What's in this one? Garbage. All right, and we have 3 bronze keys. We can hit boom, boom, boom. Wow, we literally dropped a gold. That was it. That's crazy. Honor res. Yeah, buddy. That's actually huge. That's literally the best, though. You want honor res plus max honor. Perfect. So the next time we do Sanctum, we are kind of locked and loaded, ready to go. We have honor res, and then we already have the honor res one in there. So very nice. Hopefully that has helped you guys out. I could put in another one to do that, but I can just do this instead. So honor res go in, honor res go in. We can also augment that. Boom. Rare monsters deal reduced damage. That's kind of juicy. And other than that, we don't need any of these. All right, I will catch you guys in the next clip. Goodbye. Also, I forgot to say, remember to actually allocate your ascendancy points. So your ascendancy class is obviously going to be different depending on what your base class is. So for the warrior, I can choose the Titan or the Warbringer, as you saw. And the points you take are specific to the build that you plan on playing. So simply put, if you're following a build guide, just do whatever it tells you to do. Simple. If you're doing your own thing, I can't really recommend what to do because I don't know what you're doing. So all I can tell you is that your ascendancy class is very important and very powerful. So think about this one for a little bit, maybe do your own research. But for me, I'm going to go with the Colossal Capacity. I get a little bit of extra inventory space. Not because this is good, but because this one is insane. Hulking Form, 50% increased effect of small passive skills. So all of these guys, 10%, 8%, 8%. This is now 15%, 12%, 12%, etc. So very, very powerful. And then you can see this is where the extra inventory lies right here. Perfect. So now I have a lot of extra space. The Dreadnought. This zone is going to test your build quite a bit. I remember dying at least 10 times, and this is my first playthrough, trying to get through and just get to the final boss of the zone. Luckily here, now I know that I'm just what I'm doing. I have a lot of AoE built into my character, so I should be fine. But just keep in mind, this is a very, very difficult zone. If you die, you will go back to the last checkpoint, which might not be very close to where your character currently is. So always keep that in mind. Can I get a stun, please? Thank you. Alright, this zone is actually lagging like crazy. I don't think it's the server that I'm on. I think the zone itself is just bugged. If you're playing at a later date than I am, December 21st, maybe they have fixed this, but this happens every so often. So instead of me logging out, I'm right here at the start of the zone. What I'm going to do is just go back to the previous zone. I should not be lagging here. Yep, everything's perfectly fine. Then I'm going to hold the control key, click on this one. It's going to let me create a new instance. And I click that. I'm dying. Holy crap, get me in there. I almost died. What was that? And now everything seems to be fine. We're not lagging. So definitely keep that in mind. Control click will create a new instance. As you can see, having AoE in this zone makes quite the big difference, clearing all these packs out. Sleep Slam in, promise for stun, boom. Bone Shatter comes in and just heavy stuns and obliterates them with impact, shockwave, support. Highly recommend leveling like this if you're playing melee. So we just dropped our first tier 9 skill gem. The tier 9 ones are typically pretty dang good, especially here for melee. Sunder, you see right here, consumes fully broken armor on enemies to guarantee a critical hit. So I'm going to take Sunder, I'm going to slap this in here. Then I'm going to use a support gem and grab something called Splinter. I believe I can get this at level 1. Nope, that's level 2. So once I get my first level 2 support gem, I will take this, slap it onto Mace Strike, break enemy armor, and then Sunder for a guaranteed crit. It should be extremely powerful. But until that point, I'm still going to use Perfect Strike for now. All right, here is the final boss of Act 2. Let's see how much damage we have.
We are vengeance. The Manacles will pay for my people.
We're running out of time.
Cannot give up.
What are you doing?
Go, my queen.
Whoa. No way that hit me.
Fall, damn you. The era of the Farragut falls.
Alright, just missed my perfect strike. GG. I actually have a lot of damage. Just kind of crazy. I just missed my perfect strike again. That's okay. Should prime up for heavy stun any moment. There it is. And Bone Shatter for the heavy stun. Boom. Perfect strike. I think I just missed it again. Stop missing the perfect timing, man. Come on. Should be fine here. I'm not really concerned. There we go. Whoa, whoa, I rolled in all those. Dude, no way that hit me. Oh, that's a big hit. He's dead. GG. We got him. Easy. All right, that's way easier. I think it took me 12 tries to get this guy in my first playthrough. 12. He's dead. We got him. Act 2 done, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so here we are at the start of Act 3. I'll do a quick overview of the character again. Temple Mall is quite good. It rolled with Flat Fizz, which is pretty good. You really want percent fizz on these things in the early game. The Flat Fizz is really for like later game stuff, but still quite a lot of damage from this. I socketed one Iron Rune for the Fizz damage, and then the other one, I just didn't have another Iron Rune, so I put in Fire damage. Still using this Innsmouth Shabby Hood that I dropped for the Mana Regen Cold Res Chaos Res. Amulet's pretty good with flat life, a little bit of stats. Resistance is here. Life and resistance there. Just life and life regen here. This is actually a pretty bad chest piece. I looked up. We would upgrade that ASAP. Boots have movement speed res. Belt has life res. Gloves just have the +1 melee skills and some life. Probably upgrade these as well. Going to the passive tree, I'm basically just speccing for melee damage, area of effect. So we have area of effect down here. We have the movement speed, or sorry, the attack speed and actually here. We got damage with two-handed weapons here and stun buildup, and then area of effect if we stunned recently, because our clearing is just leap slamming, priming enemies for stun, and then bone shrouding them and blowing them all up. Feeling pretty good. Welcome back. For you, it's been a couple seconds. For me, it's been quite a while. As you can hear by my voice, by the way, yes, I'm still kind of sick here. I feel pretty good. It's just I'm congested, obviously. So for the next part of the video, expect my voice to sound like this. Anyway, I wanted to explain the character a little bit because I haven't really gone in depth of my plan, let alone what I've actually been, progressing towards on the skill tree and whatnot. So I chose the Titan as my ascendancy class. And that is because of this passive right here, Hulking Form. 50% increased effect of small passive skills. And basically a small passive skill is just one of these guys, right? Just a regular good old circle, not a big fancy border. This is called a notable skill right here. So that's a notable, that's a notable, that's a notable. But everything leading up to them, these are small passive skills. So 50% increased effect, 10 would go to 15% melee damage, 8% AoE would go to 12% AoE, 15 armor would go to, 22 armor, I think, 23 armor, etc. Now, the only caveat here would be these guys right here, the attribute highway, we'll call them. So every time you get, +5 to any attribute, you get to choose strength, dex, or int. These nodes, unfortunately, are not scaled by the 50%. That would be kind of, it'd be really freaking good if they were, but they are not scaled. And then obviously stuff like over here, Avatar Fire, this is not going to be scaled either because this is a keystone passive skill, not a small passive. Anyway, speaking of Avatar Fire, that's kind of my goal for this build. You can see you convert the majority of your damage over to fire damage, and then you just simply cannot deal any non-fire damage, or rather, you can only deal fire damage. I don't know why it doesn't say only deal fire damage. That'd be a little more clear, right? Anyway, my goal is to go Avatar Fire and then take a bunch of fire stuff on the tree as well. Like up here, Burn Away, 15% increased fire damage, but more importantly, damage penetrates 10% of fire resistance. Damage penetration is very powerful because if an enemy has 30% resistance and then you penetrate 30% of it, you're essentially dealing 30% more damage. Pretty much that simple. So I don't know exactly where I'll be going on the tree quite yet, but I imagine it's going to be getting fire stuff like this, and then area of effect and just area damage stuff like this. So still a work in progress on the passive tree, but I kind of have a general idea of what I want to go for. I'll update you guys more, obviously, once I start progressing. And then in terms of how I'm actually leveling up, it's the tried and true classic combo of Leap Slam into Bone Shatter. So once you get your first, I think it's tier 7 skill gem, which should be around Act 2, if I remember correctly. I think is when I got this. You can swap to Leap Slam with the Overpower Support Gem, which causes 50% more stun buildup, and then Bone Shatter for clearing all of the packs. You see right here, you attack enemies in range with a strike. That strike will cause a heavy stun on enemies that are primed for a stun. And the primed for a stun simply means how much stun buildup an enemy has, and the percentage is different based on the type of enemy. So normal guys, 40%, magic, which are the blue guys, 60%, rare, the yellow ones, 70%, and then unique, which are the bosses, basically at 80% of a stun threshold. So they have a little bar underneath their health bar, and then when that is at, whatever the threshold is, they are primed for a stun. Then you just, cast Bone Shatter on them, and you hit the shockwave for 479% damage. It's quite a bit of damage, and it's also in a 2-meter radius, which is scaled by your area of effect passes. Pretty cool. So the goal is literally to just leap slam into a pack, boom, it primes it for stun, and then bam, you bone shatter, and they all blow up. You've seen that from the footage, but I just figured I'd explain exactly how that's working for you guys, just in case it was a little confusing. Also, the goal with leap slam is to not stun them from the slam itself, because if you do, then you're going to waste your bone shatter, because remember, you have to cause the heavy stun to actually get the shockwave for the massive damage. So if your leap slam is doing too much damage, and too much stun buildup, you're just going to stun them outright, and you don't want that because you want the bone shatter to actually consume that prime for stun.
if you stun them outright, they're not primed for stun, right? So just make sure that your Leap Slam is doing enough stun buildup with the overpower support, but you're not socketing like extra damage supports and whatnot on the Leap Slam to actually consume the stun. Finally, for single target, I kind of want to build around a perfect strike. You can see right here, if you land the perfect strike, basically just channel this thing, you hold it, you hold it, you hold it like this, and then when it blinks like that, that's a perfect strike. And this thing does all the way up to 729% damage at level 9, which means at level 20, it's probably going to be dealing like 1500% damage or something crazy. I don't even know what it can be. It's probably very high. So this has insanely high damage, and it also has from the quality, which quality I'm sure we'll get to in a bit. You have to get this from a currency drop called a Gem Cutter's Prism. One Gem Cutter's Prism equals 5% quality on the skill gem up to 20%. So at 20% quality, we're getting 20% increased magnitude of ignites that you inflict. So basically the ignite just deals 20% more damage, which is pretty dang juicy. So big percent damage, and that correlates into a massive ignite on top of that. But we will get to that when we get to that. For now, let's just get back into playing the game. Oh, also one thing I forgot to do was slash deaths for you all. So we have died a total of 7 times. I'm pretty sure that's 1 for the beetle, and then 6 times by the stupid like triceratops rhino looking dude. What are they called? A mastodon. I think it's a mastodon. Whatever, that summoner fight. And also my slash played, we are at 6 hours, 41 minutes at the start of Act 3 here. So, you know, basically 3.5 hours per act. So, yeah, like I just said, as long as you prime them for a stun, you just hit the Bone Shatter key and everything kind of just blows up. Alright, for this quest reward here, you get to choose one of these Venom Draughts. This one gives you stun threshold, so it makes you harder to be stunned. This one gives you elemental ailment threshold, which makes you harder to shock, freeze, ignite, that kind of stuff. And then this one simply gives you mana regen rate. I'd recommend that you either go for the stun threshold or the elemental ailment threshold. I'm probably actually going to go for elemental ailment threshold because getting chilled, frozen, ignited, shocked especially, all of those are very dangerous. So getting an increased threshold to them is very nice. All right, I think we're coming up on a boss fight in this zone. Yep, here he is, the mighty Silver Fist. Be very, very, very careful against this guy. He is basically going to one-shot you if he hits you with the big slams. So be very, very, very careful. Yep, and that's what I thought was going to happen. So he has the big slam attack, and then he has that little roll right there. And that roll hits you like 3 times for basically all of your health. So yeah, pretty cool. Oh, okay, somehow I just tanked the slam. That's pretty dope. All right, we got him. Nice. Second time's the charm. Oh, there we go. Speaking of quality currency, the Gem Cutter's Prism was exactly what I'm talking about. So this falls into the category of do not spend until you know what you're doing. Same thing with this Chaos Orb that I dropped earlier. Do not spend currency like this, especially your Exalted Orbs. Those are also included if you forgot already. Do not spend them because you can easily trade them with another player to get much more value. In the case of a GCP, it's not worth that much. I think it's like 3 or 4 to 1 Exalted Orb. It's just I wouldn't put quality on your gems until you really have solidified your build. If you're following a build guide and it tells you what to do, then obviously by all means use your GCPs. But other than that, save these 2 currencies. You can also just trade the Chaos Orb for an Exalted Orb. They're about 1 to 1 or something like that. Nice, got some unique boots. Bushwhack, 20% movement speed, physical damage is pinning. Not the best. My current boots have 15% movement speed with some resistances, so slightly more movement speed, but no res. Physical damage pinning is pretty useless. And they require 57 dexterity. I only have 40, so probably not going to put these on. So I think I forgot to explain this Val Orb. I dropped this not too long ago here. And basically this thing is just a random gamble machine. You can see that it modifies an item unpredictably and corrupts it. So no matter what, when you use a Val Orb on something, it's going to corrupt the item. And you can see right here, corrupting really doesn't do anything aside from make the item unmodifiable past that point. So once you corrupt something, what you have is what you're going to keep. For the most part. There are some edge cases here and there, but for the most part, just think about it as the corruption tag means that item is solidified. You can't modify it any further. So this modifies an item unpredictably part is where the juice comes in. So there are 4 outcomes. Number 1, nothing. So you simply add the corruption tag. That's it. Number 2, you can add a socket. So my weapon has 2 sockets. You could go up to, normally 2 is just the max, but when you corrupt it, you can get 3 sockets total, which is pretty interesting. This also does not add a socket on anything that cannot have a socket, like rings, amulets, and belts. Those can't have sockets regularly, so the Battle Orb cannot add a socket there. Number 3, it can add a special implicit to the item. So for armor, there'd be like a resistance or some stats. On a weapon, that could be like more damage, more speed, something like that. And then 4th and finally, it can totally re-roll the modifiers of an item. That's called a brick, because chances are if you're using it on a good item and it rolls with random stats, the chance of those random stats being better than what you had, probably very low. So that is just called a brick. So those are the outcomes of the Battle Orb. All right, and that boss right there just dropped the Inscribed Ultimatum. This is the other mechanic to ascend and gain more ascendancy points. And you can tell right here, completing this trial will grant you additional ascendancy skill points. So long as you see this line right here, no matter what you do, either the Sanctum mechanic or rather the Trial of the Sekimas, which is again the Jin Barya is that currency item, and then Inscribed Ultimatum, no matter which one you choose, so long as it says this right here, if you run that, you are going to get additional ascendancy skill points, which is kind of the whole point of running them. But you can see that this is area level 38. I'm currently level 34, so I will probably come back here once I'm a little bit stronger. Emerald, interesting. All right, so the jewel here, emerald, this can be socketed in a jewel socket on the passive tree. The closest one is right here. So if I were to continue this way, I could socket this jewel here, and then you can modify these just with random stats like you would any other item. And I think in this case, rare jewels have a maximum of 4 modifiers, unlike, rare weapons, for example, or every other piece of gear that's rare can have 6. So jewels can only have 4 when they're rare. I believe that is the only exception. And the type of a jewel, so this is an emerald, there's also rubies, sapphires, and then probably one other type as well. That will dictate the mods that can roll on them. For example, green is associated with dexterity, so damage with bows obviously is like a dexterity-based thing. The rubies are red, therefore it's going to get like strength and fire stuff, all that kind of stuff. So jewels are pretty interesting. You won't really find something super good for a while, if I had to guess, but just pretty interesting to keep your eye out for them. This zone is pretty confusing. The Azag Bog, you basically have 2 key points here. So here's the entrance way down here. And then if you go like straight up from there, I mean, these obviously going to be random layouts, but more or less in the center, you have this little shrine here. You click like 5 little vestiges. You get this buff, increased fire resistance and item rarity. And then this boss was really hard to find actually for me. I thought she would be like on a corner. She is technically on a corner, I guess, but look at how I had to get to the arena. You had to like go all the way up and around and then through this path and then get to her like that. So definitely be on the lookout here for this boss. Very annoying to find. See ya. I can't even see her.
A disgusting weapon.
Nice. And then we get plus 30 maximum spirit from that quest reward, which means that we can put another aura on. In this case, I think I want to run Time of Need. This gives me a little bit of life regen, 166 life every 11 seconds. That's roughly, what we'll say like 14 life per second or something. Also, make sure that you're not only picking up items with sockets, but anything that says superior as well, because that means it comes with a quality percentage on it already. And then when you go to the salvage bench, you click salvage, you're going to get some armor, scraps, or whetstones if it's a weapon. So socketed items and items that say superior, both of those you want to pick up for the salvage bench. What? Okay. Apparently I swung my bone shatter and completely missed in front of a billion enemies. That's pretty cool. Also, don't forget to be checking your mini-map, especially in the underground areas. Simply go over here and toggle this to go, above ground, underground. Make sure you're picking up, again, all of those icons that have a little plus sign next to them. In this case, the Jiquani's Machinarium has the Black Jaw, the Remnant fight. I progressed all the way up here, and then I kind of forgot, oops, I need to go back and do that. So make sure you're checking the map occasionally to get those plus signs. All right, speaking to corruption in that Val Orb earlier, there's a special little interactable here inside of the Jiquani's Sanctum area where it lets you just corrupt an item basically for free. In this case, I kind of need a weapon upgrade anyway. So let's just corrupt the weapon and see what happens. So in this case, we added a socket. Very nice. So this, of course, only adds a socket on things that can already have sockets, such as weapons, body armor, helmet, gloves, boots. So +1 socket, pretty nice. Unfortunately, we're probably just going to get a straight up better weapon very soon. So not the best, but still pretty good. Oh my gosh, that was some insane damage actually. I think we got a crit there. We definitely got a shock. Pretty sure I crit him as well. That was huge damage. Oh my word. Oh, Gotta get right here for that. Nope, still hit me. All right, that's cool. Very nice. All right, charge her up. Bang. Not nearly as much damage this time, but still, that was crazy. Also, ladies and gentlemen, don't be like me and forget waypoints in key quest areas, such as the Infested Barrens. But if you do happen to miss waypoints, one easy trick is just go to one of the adjacent zones that also has a waypoint, because that waypoint will probably be right next to the entrance or the exit to the previous zone. So here we teleported to the Chimeral Wetlands. If I just go down here a little bit, probably not where the checkpoint is, back this way, look at that, the Infested Barrens. We have arrived. Beautiful. So cool, this chest piece just rolled with plus spirit on it, which is the resource again to run different auras and whatnot. So I'm actually going to put that on, because if I go back to town, I can grab a couple support gems here that should work to give me a little more life regen and a little more accuracy. If I go here and I click on one of my auras, you can see I can put on precision for an additional 10 spirit. I'll do that. Then if I go again and I go onto time of need, it says vitality for an extra 20 spirit. I can do both of those and we still have a little bit of spirit left over. Very nice. All right, it's about time I get a weapon upgrade. This one is still serving me quite well. Haven't even socketed anything into that third socket that we corrupted earlier, but this one just has way higher base damage. So I have one orb of alchemy, upgrade a normal into a rare with 4 mods. Here we go. Boom. We got fire damage and increased physical damage. It has 2 sockets on it as well. So not that bad. We're going to socket in, I guess I can only really do adds fire damage for right now. So I guess we'll get a little more fire damage. And you can see comparatively that the weapon on the right here is a slight upgrade over the one on the left. And I had this rune in my inventory here, the iron rune. That's exactly what I was looking for. So I'm going to put that in and get some juicy 20% increased physical damage on top. All right, so we just dropped our first tier 2 support gem here. And as always, you can just, click through your different skills, see what it recommends you to use. Otherwise, if you're feeling a bit frisky, you can click on the all gems and then scroll down to where you see the tier 2 begin, and then you can just have a glance, have a gander, as they say. Also, getting character level 40 means that I unlocked another support socket for my auto attack. This is only for the default attack based on your weapon. So if I'm wielding a mace, therefore I get mace strike. At level 40, you get your third socket. Level 65, you get your fifth, and then the fifth and final socket will be at level 90. So take quite some time to get the rest of your sockets. Also, another cool interaction I forgot to mention with some auras. Just because you can socket a support gem doesn't mean it'll actually increase your spirit reservation. For example, the fast forward support, which says you have 30% less skill effect duration. If I put this in time of need, you'll see that it actually decreases the amount of time it takes for it to proc. So we go from a 7.7 second proc. If I take it out, it goes up to 11 seconds. And that actually does not increase our spirit at all. You can see it goes from 8 spirit to, again, 8 spirit. So this is just strictly a net positive for us. It has absolutely no downside whatsoever. What the heck was that? So there's a special vendor here in the Apex of Filth. She sells a bunch of jewelry and spellcaster related things. Also, you'll find 3 colored mushrooms throughout this zone. You just bring them back to this cauldron and she'll give you a reward at the end of it. Unfortunately for me, all of these things are pretty useless. Now, the prismatic ring base type is quite good. It can roll up to 10% all elemental resistances, but the actual, modifiers on it are pretty bad. And then we just have like a fire res ring. Chaos res ring is actually pretty good. I'm just going to buy this for the sake of re-rolling it later. And I might as well buy that as well for re-rolling it. But again, these are not very useful stat-wise, just the implicit. So we'll use them at the Reforger once we unlock it. Hey, So I'm not going to leave this zone quite yet because I haven't found the last mushroom. I believe I need a blue mushroom, so I'm going to keep scouting until I find it. So remember to utilize the checkpoint system. I found the last mushroom. I know the crone is right over here, so I'm just going to simply teleport here with the checkpoint system, slam that in the cauldron, and then she's going to say, bada bing, bada boom, here's your reward. Oh yeah, I forgot this quest actually sucks. Never mind, skip this quest, guys. Ooh. What just happened? Dead? Get him? I guess we got him. Alright, yeah, we got him. Woohoo. Oh, look, get in here. Also, this boss coming up is a massive DPS check. You'll find out why. Here we go. Let's see if we can get him on the first try. That was close. See ya, buddy. Alright, that was pretty easy. But that fight, it might take you a few attempts. Be warned. And I think this is finally when we unlock the reforging bench. Yes, it is. All right, so at the reforging bench, you simply bring in 3 of the same item. I think they have to be the same rarity as well. So here, for example, I have a magic ruby ring, a magic ruby ring, and a magic ruby ring. We take them on over here to the reforging bench, and we slap 1, 2, 3. So these are all the same base type, a ruby ring. The stats on them don't matter. It's just the rarity, so them being blue. We click reforge, and all of a sudden it gives us a brand new ruby ring with some random stats. In this case, we got 14 dexterity, which, hey, that might be pretty good. Because remember those boots? We needed 57 dexterity. 14, I would be at 54. Never mind. We'd have to unspec out of something. Man. But just very useful to have the reforging bench unlocked now.
I was hoping to avoid conflict.
Oh, yep, and now this is why people hate this zone. This is probably one of the most overtuned zones in the game. Overtuned zones in the game. Sorry, need to enunciate my words here. Oh, and that's, yep, I'm getting stuck and I'm dead. Yep, that's perfect. So if you miss just like one timing of your attacks, you get stuck on one enemy, you're probably dead in this zone. Have fun. Nice, man. Nice, nice.
Spilled.
Destruction!
Sick. Just keep pushing me back so I can't see what I'm doing. Great enemy design.
You will fall before us. You are nothing but a locust.
Great, man.
Callie's web.
Nice, man. Okay, sick.
The Callie's web.
How are you not dead? What a dumb boss fight, man. Yep, cool. Oh my gosh, just die. Who thought melee was in a good state, dude? I genuinely want to understand who developed melee in this game and who thought it was in a good state.
The intruder is here? What of Nakwatsi? I see. No mercy then.
Cool, yeah, man. Just get me stuck on the enemies. That's awesome game design. GGG. Good job, guys. Not letting your dodge roll go through enemies. Yep, very cool. All right, here we are at the Act 3 final boss, Doriani.
The demon of Anzuat.
Let's see if we can take him down on the first try.
2 seconds later.
Yep, that. Okay, man. Yes, I love melee skills. We have to charge up for 18 seconds before you can actually do anything. Very nice.
I've been preparing for you for
Come on, man. Stun me out of my attacks. Yes, yes, yes. Melee moment. Oh, yep. And he's gonna die to the ignite, isn't he? Nope, he's gonna be that much HP. Sick, dude. All right, wait through the whole fight again. Here we go. I love the consistency in this game. I love it. Nice, man.
Do you truly think you can match me? Existence is merely energy.
And that time it didn't do any damage to me. I don't get this game, man. I really don't.
I will crush you.
Oh my gosh. All right, there you go. Woohoo! Act 3 final boss. Yay. Yeah, the difficulty spikes in this game are kind of weird. I wouldn't say it was a difficulty spike. It's just there's a lot of things that need to be ironed out. All right, so this is the end of normal difficulty and the start of early access. There is yet to be the final 3 acts added into the campaign. It's supposed to be acts 1 through 6. So now, instead, we go to cruel difficulty of Act 1. So we just replay the same 3 acts that we've already done. Unfortunately, it's just how it is at the start of early access. However, before I go on and do Act 1 Cruel, I guess I have to go through the starting zone here, not a big deal. I'm actually going to go back and do the Ascendancy Trial in Act 3. Here, the Inscribed Ultimatum. This should be very easy for me now, so I'll check back in with you after I complete that. All right, here we are at the Temple of Chaos. Now, this is, like I said, the second lead mechanic, or mechanic rather, that you can use to ascend. So here we have the green Chimeral Inscribed Ultimatum. Means this is a quest one, so we can just repeat this as many times as it takes for us to actually complete it.
I'm going to put it in and start it. And this is going to be quite a bit different from the Trial of the Sekimas. In fact, it's much different and honestly much easier. You see here that you get a random item. It's usually, I think it's almost always corrupted actually. And then you have to choose one of these debuffs here at the bottom. So in this case, bosses deal more damage, take less damage. I have less AoE and monsters cannot be slowed or stunned. Honestly, that sounds pretty free. So I'm going to click this one and get in there. But unlike the Trial of the Sekimas where it's honor-based system, this one just uses your regular HP bar. And there's no like boons or what do you call the negative ones? I can't think of the name right now. Why can't I think of afflictions? There we go. Holy moly. Sorry, still kind of recovering from being sick, so my brain's not working at 100% capacity right now. All right, well these guys just aren't getting stunned, so I guess I'm auto-attacking everybody here. Cool. I'm gonna swap back to Mace Strike actually. Bonk. Look at that. It's just straight up better than Armor Breaker. 10 times better. That's funny. So here, for this one, we should only have to do 4 trials to get our Ascendancy class. Should not take long whatsoever. You got some, like, I'm doing too much damage here. These guys should be, oh, they can't be stunned. Never mind, I took the freaking thing that said monsters can't be stunned, didn't I? Wait, no, I didn't. It said monsters cannot be slowed or, maybe it did say stunned. Cannot be slowed. Nah, they can't be stunned. I messed up. Yeah. Okay, guys, I shouldn't have taken the monsters cannot be stunned if I wanted to actually clear them. That's okay, though. Mace Strike has Lacerate that. I guess I'll put Brutality on it as well. I'll get a little more damage. Whoops. My whole clear speed revolves around stunning enemies. That's how Bone Shatter actually procs. So, whoops. Small oopsie.
Oh, wipe that.
Wow, look at that, baby. Woo, that's crazy. Look at that. Dang, look at that. Turrets that blah, blah, blah. Resistances just straight up doesn't matter for me. I mean, I do some fire damage with Perfect Strike, but who cares? Who cares? The easy mode. I'll Mace Strike everything if I have to.
Hold your ground, if you can.
Pretty sure with this one, all I have to do is just run in a circle. I don't even need to bother killing stuff. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Take a little drink of water. And run in a circle. Yeehaw. They still can't be stunned, right? Yeah. Oh well. Just keep running in a circle. Very fun and engaging mechanic. Smile. Yeah, if you guys have been looking at any criticisms of the game, you'll likely have seen the Method of Ascension, the Trial of Sekimas, and then here the Trial of Chaos. Both are subpar, I guess is the best way to put it. Okay, I'm gonna get trapped here if I don't kill some stuff. Just leaf slam on everything. How about that? Bonk. Bonk. Can't stun the enemies doesn't mean I can't just leap on them. Let's go. Bonk. Bonk. Here we go. Watch this. Big damn, big damn. Wow, bam. Actually, it was big damn. Let's go. Augers. Whoa, what was that? Why can't I move? Oh, because it spawned invisible enemies. And yeah, nice, man. Yeah, that's also a really big complaint of mine, as you've seen in previous clips already of me yapping. The fact that you can't push enemies out of the way, especially on a warrior character stacking strength. I have 137 strength right now. The fact that that literally means nothing in terms of pushing characters away. Kind of sucks. I really hope they address that, because it is quite frustrating getting body blocked by enemies. All right, we should only have 2 more trials here if I remember correctly. This one is far easier and far quicker to complete than the Trial of Sekimas. Look at that thing. Crazy, bro. All right, 40% less defenses, 40 reduced recovery rate. I think the less defenses is fine because that actually only affects our armor, our evasion, and our block chance. It doesn't actually affect our resistances whatsoever. So, and if you hover over the defense keyword, it'll tell you that. Maybe it doesn't even affect your block chance. I think it only affects armor and evasion. And energy shield, probably. Actually, that's what it is. Armor, evasion, and energy shield, I think, count as defenses. So here we have to find 3 little tablets, I believe. So we'll just run over here. I don't think you have to kill anybody for them. I think they just drop, or they're on the ground. There we go. Yep. Then we should start taking damage over time by having it. Yeah, you take physical damage over time, and it just keeps stacking up and stacking up. So just make sure when you pick one of these up, you very quickly go and put it back. Else you're going to be taking a lot of damage.
Kind of happy I socketed in Vitality earlier. Because without that, it'd be kind of gross. All right, we need to kill some enemies here, unfortunately. There's too many guys around right now. All right, let's pick it up. What? Hello? Thank you. Excuse me, sorry. Put her in, Captain. Twist her in, get the lock on there. I'm gonna clear these guys out. Bonk. Should be the last one right here. How do I get up there? Hello? How do I get up there? Okay, maybe it's over here then. That's gonna be over here. Any Val Soul Cores in the area. Hello, Val Soul Core. I can't say that apparently. Val Soul Core. Val Soul Core. Say that 10 times fast. Val Soul Core, Val Soul Core, Val Soul Core, Val Soul. Yeah, I can't do it. Alright, put her in. Get it in. I do like how the enemies instantly despawn when you're done though. That's pretty cool. Alright, there should only be one more trial here. I believe, unless my memory is not serving me correctly. Let's see. Woohoo, look at that movement skill, baby. Look how far we're leaping. Woo! Woohoo! Movement skill. Yeah, they need to adjust some stuff here, man. Okay, cool. And here's a special reward from the Trial of Chaos, specifically the Soul Cores. So this is what is that? Opilati. Anyway, there's like I think 8 or maybe 10 different Soul Cores. And these essentially work the same way as runes. So you put them in sockets on your gear. They just have much different effects. So we get bleed chance for this one. There's some other very, very interesting ones. So just think of these as runes, but they do vastly different effects. Pyramid Beam is actually super dangerous. Chaos, extra damage to Chaos is quite dangerous as well. But honestly, yeah, it's probably Stormcaller runes, honestly. I just won't stand in them, smile. I just won't get hit. It's that simple, guys. Is this a boss fight? This might be a boss fight. Let's see. It's kind of looking like a boss fight. If I had to guess, it's looking like a boss fight. Straight up. Yep, it's a boss fight. All right, here we go. Let's do it. Onk. Oh. Here we go. I just missed entirely. Warcry. Onk. Some good damage. I cannot complain about my damage. Look at that ignite damage, man. Oh my gosh. I actually do some crazy damage. I have to kill the Plagueling as well. You just like sitting there. What's this guy doing? Onk. Alright, got him. Let's go. I think that's it. Like I said, 4 trials at the start. See how much faster and easier that was than the trial of the second was. Oh man, so much better. We should come over here and he's like, hey man, what's up? Here's the trial of ascendancy, blah blah blah. Nice, we got all that loot that we saw as an offering. Where's the altar of ascendancy? That's what we're looking for, baby. All right, so now I've unlocked hulking form, 50% increased effect of small passive skills. So all of these guys, fire damage, damage penetrate, skill speed, area of effect, all this kind of stuff increased by a 50%. And the small node going in it is 4% strength. So not bad at all. Very happy. Of Act 1 Cruel, before I forget, let's do slash played. So we played for 10 hours, 22 minutes. It means it took me about 4 hours to get through Act 3. That's actually kind of crazy. Slash deaths 16 times. I believe I had 7 when I did that at the start of Act 3. So we died quite a few times in Act 3. It goes to show how dangerous it is. How many times have I said the word Act 3 in this clip so far? Quick update on the gear. I did not upgrade my weapon. I'm still using this one from a little bit earlier. I was holding another weapon in here just in case, but now we're in Cruel Act 1, so we'll get a much better weapon than this very, very shortly, so I'm not too concerned about it. Still using Innsmouth Shabby Hood just for that mana regen rate. Basically means I never have to worry about my mana. I'm not popping flasks whatsoever. Don't have any leech. Also, the cold and the chaos res, very solid. Cannot complain about this helmet whatsoever. This amulet, I really don't need the dexterity, and other than that, it's just life and strength, so I definitely could use a better amulet. This ring is actually pretty bad. Just hopefully I get a better one pretty soon. Same thing here, pretty bad. Actually, this one's kind of good. Has a life and then double resist if you count the implicit as well, so pretty good.
This chest piece is actually very nice. The maximum spirit lets me run, again, those extra support gems in my auras. So I'm running precision for accuracy, vitality for health regen. These gloves are pretty bad, all things considered. They're literally level 8 gloves, but they have the +1 level of all melee skills, and I don't really need any other stats right now, so I might as well keep using them. This belt's all right, just a little bit of life, a little bit of cold res. And then these boots also, same thing, just, you know, movement speed and cold res instead of life. I'm looking for better boots. Obviously now I think I can get 20% movement speed, so I will be on the lookout for that. In terms of the passive tree, as you just saw, we completed our second Ascendancy trial, the Trial of Chaos, to get hulking form. Very, very, very nice. Now, you can't actually expect to get your last 2 Ascendancy points until you're pretty late into the end game. I would say, well, probably about the middle of the end game. Then you can expect to get the last 2 points. It's going to take quite a bit of grinding, though, quite a bit of power on your character. And then in terms of the passive tree, pretty much the same deal, which went down here for a little bit of accuracy and attack speed. Kept these nodes for obviously the attack damage and area of effect. Skill speed. Skill speed is basically just attack speed, cast speed, warcry speed. Anything that is speed related on a skill, duh. That is skill speed. And then I went over here to get the attack area damage, attack area of effect, stuff like that. After that, I will probably make my way over to up here and get the magnitude of ignite. That will greatly increase the damage of our perfect strike. So I'll probably grab those nodes up there. I believe there are some more fire damage nodes. Yeah, these ones as well. Fire damage, fire damage, fire damage, ignite duration, damage with hits against ignited enemies. That all seems kind of juicy to me. Then I'll probably make my way over here for revenge, attack speed if you've been hit recently, and then these 2 nodes going into it as well. Those seem also pretty nice. But again, with the passive tree, I will update you more as I progress. All right, let's get started with Act 1 Cruel. I'm actually doing too much damage now with my Leap Slam. I'm instantly stunning them, so I'm going to try taking out the Overpower support, which gives me 50% less stun buildup, and this should now let me stun things and actually be able to clear them with my Bone Shatter. All right, Devour, round 2, buddy. See what you got. Yeah, I'm dead. I'm so not dead. Let's go, baby. Okay, I am dead. Okay, I shouldn't have just stood there. That was stupid. Yeah, buddy. All right, and as you can see, the next tier of item is called Advanced. That's, I think, only because, again, we're in early access and we have to repeat the same 3 acts. So I think later on it'll be completely different base types, but we're looping back now. It'll say Advanced, and then after that, the final tier will be Expert. So that's how you know that this is a tier up from just a regular Oak Great Hammer that you'd see in normal Act 1. And you can see that the base damage values are way higher. This one has 50% increased fizz, and it's 106 to 128. This one has literally nothing, and it's almost the same top-end damage. So quite a big difference. Okay. Hey, we do some damage. Take it, buddy. How can you still get stuck in terrain, man? They literally just Control-C, Control-V the Leap Slam code from PoE 1 and then made it 50% slower. You fix freaking anything about the skill. It's crazy. Sick, dude. Yup, that's real cool. He stunned me out of my attack again. Maybe this time I'll hit him. We just have to wait now. I'm just gonna run in a circle. Yup, that's the way GGG intended for melee. Alright, here we go. I can finally attack again. Yeah, woo, woo. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not meaning to be complaining this much, but holy crap. Blows my mind how they said they fixed melee in PoE 2, and this is what they did. Well, we finally got a better ruby ring than the one we have equipped. Instead of 10 lightning res, it has 25 lightning res. Woohoo! And has 2 more fire res on the implicit. So resistances for the start of Act 1 Cruel, honestly, are not looking too shabby. Oh, yeah, stun me out of my attacks. Very cool. Great game design, GGG. Very good game design. What's she doing right now? I don't even know what she's doing.
can't tell. Bonk. Bonk. Why didn't that one stun me? Like, I don't get it, man. Ooh. Bonk. 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 See ya, buddy. Oh my gosh. Not very poggers, man. Not very poggers at all. Oh, don't kill me, please, man. I'm so sorry. I don't. What is he doing?
What is he doing? I don't know what he's doing. What?
Hey, dude. Dude. Very cool how you have to stand still for melee, dude, and every other class in the game can move while attacking. It's so cool how you can get stunned out of all of your attacks on melee, and you have to stand still to charge up your high damage ones. So cool, dude. They really fixed melee here in Path of Exile 2, gentlemen. They really did. Look, it's not like I don't have the damage for this guy. I have tons of damage. Just to make one tiny mistake, all of a sudden, GG, dude. Like, literally just one mistake. Oh my gosh, man. All right, very important thing here. I just dropped a Jin Barrio, which if you remember, that is the trial of the...
What the heck was that?
What just happened? Melee moment. I stopped for 1 millisecond. Imagine if I had to attack something there. Imagine I had to stop to attack right there. I would have literally just died. Anyway, the Jin Barrio for the trial of the Sekima is very important. Completing this Ascend trial will not grant additional Ascend skill points. That means you don't do it. You're not going to do this until it says it's going to give you skill points. Simple. Oh my gosh, he didn't stun me out of my attack. That was a freaking miracle. Did you see that? Amazing. Oh my gosh. He actually was... Woof! Dang. Quite a bit of damage there, boys. See what we get here for this epic loot. Oh yeah. Epic loot. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm feeling a little bit better. Today's Christmas, by the way. Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas. We're going to start by buying this random mace from the vendor and then using a regal orb on it and see what we get. It's actually not bad. Yeah, it's actually not bad at all. I have some Artificer's orbs here, so I think I'll just slap them on here. Boom, boom. And then we can either do fire damage or physical damage runes. I have neither of them right now. Oops. So maybe we'll just... should I exalt it? You know what? I'm feeling a bit crazy. I'm going for it. So right now we have 2 prefixes, the fire damage and the increased elemental damage with attacks, and then 1 suffix, which is attack speed. Realistically, we're looking for our last prefix to be % physical damage, so it increases this value right here. Hopefully it's like, 80 to 100%. That'd be pretty nice. Suffixes, we're really just looking for plus level of melee skills. I have 9 exalted orbs. Again, highly recommend you do not do this. Simply go on the trade website rather, and spend like 1, 2, maybe 3 exalted orbs to get a much better item instead of using them to try and craft. All right, here we go. Let's see what happens. We got life per enemy hit. That's a suffix, so not the worst, but pretty bad. We got % fizz, but it's hybrid, unfortunately. So we got 29% increased fizz with the accuracy rating. That's called hybrid fizz. You know what? It's actually not that terrible. And then 1 more exalted orb to see if we get plus melee skills. Bada bing, bada boom. We got reduced attribute requirements. For Giant's Blood, that'd actually be kind of good. Giant's Blood, as you can see on the passive tree here, says that it triples the attribute requirements of the weapon. So this thing at 88 strength would instead require only, the small price of, how much is that? 200 and something. A lot. It's a lot of strength, guys. 88 times 3 is 264 strength to Giant's Blood this. Yeah, that's not going to happen. But if I get some % fizz, some iron runes, I will probably slap this bad boy on. It'll be quite a bit more damage than the one that I'm currently using.
Come here.
Oh. Whoops. What the heck is going on right now? What the heck is that? What is that? All right, yeah, I think it has something to do with us only having 310 armor. That would kind of explain a lot. So in hindsight, probably wasn't the wisest idea to use my Artificer's orbs and exalted orbs and stuff on crafting this thing. because the next base type of mace is actually quite good. Look at that base damage, 84 to 113. If you look at mine with 51%, it's only 106 to 128. So basically the top end damage is identical. Actually, this one is 70% because you need to factor in the iron rune in there as well. So 70% physical damage, and that top end is like barely higher than this one with no percent whatsoever. So definitely going to be looking for an advanced forge maul pretty soon here, which means this thing is pretty much useless. Oh well. Nice. When you kill Candlemass here on Cruel difficulty, the essence, I think it gives you 20 flat life in normal Act 1. Here in Cruel Act 1, it gives you 8% max life. Pretty juicy. Interesting. I could be able to get some damage here, but like that? Nope. Okay, I just couldn't attack. Melee moment. Sorry, I'm still very congested. Gentlemen. I don't know if the voice is annoying for you guys, but trust me, it's annoying feeling this way.
No, it's not the voice that's annoying, it's the person talking.
I dare you to leave that comment. I dare you. You made it this far in the video, I dare you. Whoa! That was close. Alright. Dude, how... in what world did that hit me? Seriously. In what world? I canceled my, I just canceled it again. Okay, I should be ready to stun him very soon. Oh, shoot. That was very close. Okay, here we go. What is that? Dude, you have to be kidding me with that slow. Did you see that? Did he just not take damage right there? Oh, yeah. Sick. Okay. Oh, I just walked back on that. Dude, you have to be kidding me with these slow... Oh. Dude, I'll never understand the boss fights in this game. They're so inconsistent. It's because of freaking melee, man. All the wind-up time for your attacks and getting stunned out of everything. That's the only reason boss fights are hard. Hard, quote-unquote. You know, you just have to pray that your character gets to perform the way you want it to. Everybody knows that's fun in an action game, right? Everybody plays Dark Souls and Elden Ring just to pray that their character does what they want. Oh, wait. Dodge roll gives you iframes no matter what. Oh, wait. You can animation cancel everything. Oh, wait. Oh, that's why people play those games. Ah. Maybe GGG needs to learn something about that. I don't know. Just my thoughts, though. All right, here we are at the start of Act 2 Cruel. Resistance penalty, 40%. And we're still looking kind of juicy, actually. Lowest is 21. 21? Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Our armor is stupidly low. 310 armor, 17% estimated PDR. Yeah, that's that's not going to do anything for us. So, currently, character is looking pretty good. This weapon is going to get upgraded in this act. Guarantee it. It's still doing quite well, though. I mean, you saw the damage in the boss fight there. Not too shabby whatsoever. Still using the Innsmouth. That mana regen rate is pretty useful. Chaos Res also pretty useful. Same exact gear, I think, everywhere except for this chest piece, maybe? We got this in Act 1 Cruel, I think. The 38 Spirit with double resistances. That's pretty cool. But yeah, I think literally still using the exact same gear otherwise. And on the passive tree, we just kind of finished the attack area nodes down here, and we got the fire damage, damage against ignited enemies over here, and fire damage ignite duration over here. Now I'm probably going to get these attack damage nodes here, and then I might go up like here for magnitude of ignite. I might also grab blood magic. We'll have to see how that works out. Then maybe I'll get like these attack speed if you've been hit recently nodes. I don't quite know exactly where I'm going in the passive tree, but that is the current standing. Slash played is 11 hours, 55 minutes. Slash deaths is 23. So I don't think we died that much in Act 1 Cruel. All right, Act 2, here we go. Also, definitely do not get baited here by the ascent to power. Travel to the Trader's Passage. You definitely cannot ascend for your third ascendancy points quite yet. It's going to be taking some time. Remember, all that matters is when one of those Jin Baryas or the Trial Inscribed Ultimatum drops, and it says you can complete this to get more ascendancy points. That's all you're looking for. Dude, This is what happens when you have how much armor do I have? 300. This is exactly what happens. And I do too much damage. I'm not stunning these guys. I'm not priming them for stun, rather. Is that going from? Yeah, what is that? Why would he aim that there? Literally, what was that? Was my totem up? Was he aiming at my totem before? Dude, you have to be kidding me. The consistency in this game is so garbage. And then like, look, he's already at half health. I literally just hit him one time. Oh, man, dude. And he stunned me out of my attack. Very poggers. And that didn't kill me that time. See, it's what I'm talking about. Consistency. Could stun him here, actually. Yeah, there it is. Here, buddy. Oh, and then... Oh my gosh, just jump up there. What are you doing? Jump up the ramp. What are you doing? Ah! Like, is there any world where the first enemy of Act 2 should take how many more attempts? 4 times more attempts than the Act 1 final boss? Like, is there any world where that should be a thing? No, there shouldn't. That's wild, man. That was like, what are my slash deaths? I was at what, 28? No, I was at 23 or something. I don't know. Now I'm at 31. Just off of that, I got so tilted, boys. Oh my gosh. All right, but for that quest, we get our first juicy level 13 skill gem. Unfortunately, I need a combat level 52, and I'm only level 51. Whoops. So we have to wait. Oh my gosh, 25% movement speed boots. I will take those. Yes, please. That is extremely juicy. All right, we're definitely going to regal them. What do we get? We got life regen. You know what? That's worth exalting. Okay, that's not very... Okay, stun threshold. I mean, stun threshold something. And we got armor and evasion. I mean, I guess, hey, armor, invasion, movement speed, life regen. They're definitely better than these. Simply because of the movement speed. The resist, obviously, on this is pretty useful. But these are level 12 boots, just like these gloves are level 8 gloves. So it's about time we got a nice little upgrade there. Beautiful. All right, I've hopped on my Trade League character here just to give you guys a quick example of something. So if you see here, if you have any exalted orbs at all, just literally one exalted orb, you can buy, and the price is obviously going to change, but let's just say you can buy at least 15 lesser jeweler's orbs. Now, what does a lesser jeweler's orb do? It adds a socket to one of your skills. So your default attacks, the things that are innate to your weapons, those are not going to be modified by jeweler's orbs. Those are modified by your character's level. So in this case, Mace Strike is my auto attack. It has the maximum of 5 sockets on it. This one, these two rather, are by default. This one is unlocked at level 40. This is 65. This is 90. However, for every other skill, these have more than 2 sockets. This one has the default of 2 because they just haven't, found a reason to put another support gem in there. But for example, Time of Need has 3 sockets. That is because you get the third socket by using a lesser jeweler's orb, something that I highly recommend you do, as it can, drastically increase the power of a skill, especially like your main damaging skills. So let's say here, hey, I have blacksmith's whetstones. I can do 1-to-1. So if you have a single blacksmith whetstone, you can get a jeweler's orb. If you have like an armor scrap, oh, look at that. For 1 armor scrap, you get 4 lesser jeweler's orbs. So highly, highly, highly recommend that if you guys are on Trade League, which I'm assuming the vast majority of you watching this video are, just simply buy them from the currency exchange market. It's going to be a different NPC depending on which act you are in. In Act 3, it's going to be Alva. Just click here, go to currency exchange. In Act 2 and 1, it'll be a different NPC, but you'll find them very, very easily. Definitely recommend lesser jeweler's orbs. Dang, that is quite a nice life flask. 48% increased charges, so you have 11 uses of it, and it recovers 1352 life over 4 seconds. That's more than my entire max life, and I have 11 uses of it. Very nice life flask. Also, here's a good example of an item that I might want to use. Remember, my current gloves just have literally the +1 level of melee skills. That's the only relevant stat. These have, quite a bit of life, fire res, which is very nice, and they're a magic item, so I could toss a regal orb on here. However, I would also have to get at least 46 dexterity, which is not impossible. I can literally just switch one of my passive nodes right now to use this. So, you know what? Let's take a gamble, toss a regal on here. What do we get? Accuracy rating. Now, let's check our accuracy rating. So, your skill menu is G. And let's just check on Bone Chatter. Bone Shatter, our accuracy, what you're looking for is estimated main hand chance to hit within 2 meters. We're saying at 95% accuracy. So yeah, we lose the +1 melee skills. We're going to lose a little bit of damage overall, but we gain quite a bit of fire res, quite a bit of life, and that accuracy rating is pretty juicy. I think I will go ahead and swap over. So what we're going to do, say what's up, Hooded One, how you doing? Refund passives. You don't actually have to refund anything. You just click this node, switch to dexterity, apply points, a G, and now we can slap those on just like that. Oh, man. If this was any other ring type, this would have been pretty dang good just for the chaos res alone. I could always regal this, hope to get life or another resistance, but the base type gives me flat accuracy, which if you remember, we just put on gloves that give us all the accuracy we need. So this is a pretty useless base type. It's definitely not better than one of my other 2 rings, as you can see. So unfortunate. Also, we can now finally use the tier 13 skill gem that we got, and I'm absolutely going to unlock Hammer of the Gods. As you can see, it deals a whopping 19% damage. It also has a 24-second cooldown. So this is a big bonk button by all means. So yeah, definitely going to use Hammer of the Gods. Put this on the Q button. Now we can just basically one-shot bosses. Poggers. So I thought I would talk real quick about my gym links and my general setup. So I'm not really using my auto attack Mace Strike at all. I have it linked with Splinter, Brutality, and Rage right now. Rage on hit is very nice. Rage, if you did not know, gives you 1% more attack damage per stack of Rage, up to 30. So getting 3 Rage on hit basically means I'm scaling up to 30% more damage pretty fast if I'm using it. Brutality just to deal a little more damage. And then Splinter to break armor. Now, once we get our next tier 13 skill gem, I will actually unlock the Ancestral Warrior Totem and then just put the Armor Breaker skill inside of that so I don't have to use the support gem anymore. So Mace Strike is just to break armor on single target bosses. For Bone Shatter, Impact Shockwave is what actually clears the enemies. So Bone Shatter by itself, that Shockwave deals 528% damage. And then Impact Shockwave says, create an Aftershock when they heavy stun. And this is how the Shockwave of Bone Shatter actually procs in the first place, is on a heavy stun. So you basically just get a massive chain of 528% damage Shockwaves by using the support gem here. I also just swapped out Fire Infusion I had here. Now I have that down on Hammer of the Gods. I'll explain that in a second. So I put in a Magnified effect here instead, and this should be pretty crazy for the area of effect. Perfect Strike is just for single target damage. You just charge it, release it at the perfect timing for a Perfect Strike, which deals a metric butt ton of damage. So we have Window of Opportunity, so I have a little less time. I got to hit it with a skill issue to actually get the damage off. 50% more damage, though, is juicy. And then Close Combat, there could be some other pretty good ones as well, but 25% more damage if I'm just, tickling their toes. Pretty nice. Then for Infernal Cry, I have Premeditation, so just when I press the button, the next attack I do that is also being consumed by Infernal Cry gets 15% more damage. And I get some Rage. If it's a boss enemy, I get 20 Rage immediately, which is quite nice. Herald of Ash, I have Precision linked onto it just because I have that extra Spirit from my body armor. Time of Need, same thing. I have Vitality linked here for the extra 20 Spirit costs just for why not. And then Fast Forward, once again, because it does actually reduce the proc activation, 7.7, 11 seconds. So definitely put in Fast Forward in your time of need. Leap Slam, Martial Tempo, Overpower. This is what sets up our Bone Shatter procs. We just Leap Slam into a pack and then press the Bone Shatter button. GG. Shockwave Totem is pretty useless, honestly. I'm going to take this out as soon as I get the Ancestral Warrior Totem, so I'm not even going to explain it. And then Armor Breaker here is, once again, just waiting for Ancestral Warrior Totem, and we'll just, boom, put that in there. But finally, the idea with Hammer of the Gods is because it deals so much damage but has a very long cooldown, we essentially just, want as much bang for that 24-second cooldown as humanly possible. In this case, I'm going Fire Infusion, so that's what I took off of Bone Shatter, because we're going for the largest ignite possible. If you have 100% increased ignite duration, you're essentially dealing double the damage of the ignite, right? So 25% less chance to ignite is actually not that bad, because how Element Threshold works in Path of Exile 2 is it's based on the damage that you deal relative to the monster's threshold. So you even have like Stun Threshold, Elemental Ailment Threshold. Remember the Venom Draught quests, that was one of the choices, was increased Elemental Ailment Threshold. So if you're dealing a butt ton of damage, I don't know, like 16, 19%, then you probably don't need to worry about what the monster's, ailment threshold is, because you're going to be hitting the ignite regardless. So this is essentially double damage with ignite, and then the extra damage as fire is, of course, increasing the damage of the ignite as well. That's the idea. Also, I realized that I was still using a magic ring over here, and I have 5 regal orbs, so let's see what we get. Boop! I could have had an extra 16 strength the whole time. GG. You know what? Screw it. I'm going in. Let's go big. Ooh, okay. All right, we're going again. Boom. Mana. Okay, one more time. Boom. Okay. That's, ladies and gentlemen, that is the precise reason why you never, ever, ever use your exalts like I just did. I'm only doing it because I'm on a solo self-found league. Keep that in mind. Always trade other players, guys. Trade other players. I promise you're going to get better use out of your Exalted Orbs. Never use them. It's a pretty juicy belt in the vendor. 114 life. The base type's pretty useless. Unfortunately, the reduced charm charges used. Let's see what we get on the augment. Reduced flash charges used. Now that's something. And then we're going to regal it. And we get stun threshold. Unfortunately, I'm not going to lose my 20 cold res here. So we tried. We tried. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back the day after Christmas. What is this guy doing? Can anyone explain what this guy's doing right now? Funktastic, bombastic. Are you okay, man? Just kind of on a treadmill. I'm sure he's fine. Let's continue on here in Act 2. We're in the Trader's Passage right now. All right, very nice. We just got another T13 skill gem, so I'm going to choose Ancestral Warrior Totem, put this on instead of Shockwave Totem. And then this thing is unique. It says that it raises a totem that uses socketed mace skills. This is a mace skill. So we can simply put Armor Breaker in with Ancestral Warrior Totem. Then I'm also going to grab Splinter. There it is on my main attack. Put it here such that when he deals just physical damage, which he does automatically as a base, he's breaking even more armor. And then Armor Breaker obviously by default breaks a little bit of armor. So these two combined means that this guy is just the armor break button. Pretty nice. So we just identified a one-handed mace that almost has as much damage as my two-hander. Let me say that again. A one-hander has very, very similar damage, if you can look here. So the low end damage on my two hand is the same as the top end on my one hand, but this one has an extra 20% fizz rune on top of it. So if I had 2 fizz runes on top of this would actually just be a way faster attacking and harder hitting mace. But obviously we're not going to use a one-handed mace. We're just looking for a two-handed mace upgrade. This is just telling us that, hey, we're overdue. Come on, game. Let's get a two-handed mace upgrade going. Come on. Oh, I think Asala bugged. She's supposed to just randomly appear and start pulling the gate lever. As you can see, she's currently by the first gate lever. But remember, we have the checkpoint system, so I'm going to take this checkpoint over here. Now go back to here. She should be with me. There it is. Just confirm. She's going to pull the gate mechanism. There she is. Beautiful. All right, let's see how much damage we can do to this boss with a little bit of Hammer of Gods action. Infernal Cry, press the Hammer of Gods. 3, 2, 1. Bonk. Wow, that is not doing a lot of damage at all. Holy crap. Wait, what? Yeah, my Ignite from the Perfect Strike is doing way more. Wait, that should not be a thing. What happened there? Huh. That's really, really weird, actually. Let's try again. Oh, yeah, he phases. That's right. Huh. All right, Risu, give me a mace, please. I mean, she gave me a mace, but... What? Did he hit me twice? He just fell on me twice, no? What? Oh, that was very close. All right, got him. See ya, buddy. Pretty good damage. That guy's like heavily armored, so not bad. Level 3 support gem. Wow, I didn't think I was gonna get these for a little while longer. Sweet. I don't really know what I'm taking here though. Let's see. Damage with hits. More magnitude of ignite inflicted. Yeah, that seems pretty good. We have a close combat window of opportunity. Huh. So these are both... I guess that technically has a downside, right? The 25% shorter perfect timing window. It's not really that big of a deal once you get used to it. This one also technically, but I mean, I'm always close range. But I could just drop close combat for Searing Flame. It's going to make our ignites do a lot more damage. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. All right, so in Perfect Strike right here, take out close combat. Goodbye. Still haven't got a single lesser, holy crap, I can't talk. Lesser Jeweler's Orb. You guys remember that clip from a little while ago? Definitely buy Lesser Jeweler Orbs. They're very, 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 very cheap and very, 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 very powerful. So definitely don't skip on them. Whoa, holy moly. Advanced Oak Great Hammer. That's a level 45 base. I'm level 53. But we just got freaking 24 to 50 flat fizz. It's tier 7. Very, very nice. Gonna take that back to town and try and finish on the craft real quick. As long as we get % fizz on the Regal, I'm a happy man. All right, here's this guy again. Let's see what happens. We'll start with the Hammer of the Gods. It's not been doing a ton of damage, but okay. Hold up. Smacked him again. Looking way better than it was. Look at that ignite duration. That's crazy. I just messed up my timing there. There it is. Got them both. GG. Sit down, boys. I'm not paying attention. I'll hit the stun. Bam! What? You literally saw me hit him. All right, then we hit the hammer of the gods, and that should get him here. Goodbye, buddy. See ya. Cool. Very nice. Very nice.
Join the dead.
Advanced Forge Maul. Is that the next base type? Level 48. Nope. All right, let's go back and try and finish this weapon. And by finish, I mean just blindly throw an augmentation on it and then blindly throw a regal orb on it. All right, so the aug gives us mana per enemy killed. That's about what I expected. And it gives us stun buildup. Yeah, you know what? That's not even worth it. If this was a good base type, I would continue. Like it was a level 52 or 53 base type, I would continue. But unfortunately, we're not going to use this one either. Found my second relic there. Do not forget to go back to the Valley of Titans. You can do this quest again in Act 2 Cruel and place the relics at the waypoint. Where's the Valley of Titans? Valley of Titans. The Valley of Titans right here. And then literally right next to the waypoint should be that medallion altar. Slap the pieces in from your inventory. And then you can choose again Charm Chart is gained or the Flask Recovery. This one is Life Flask instead of Mana Flask. Definitely going to go for that. Oh, classic melee moment there. All right, just take a hammer. What? 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 What is melee, dude? What is going on? We fixed melee in Path of Exile 2, guys. Don't worry. Oh my gosh, man. Please just die. Thank you. That's actually insane. Oh, please fix melee, actually. Please, GGG, please. Advanced Temple Maul. There we go. Look at the base damage. 60 to 125. It has literally 3 less base damage than my current mace that has 70%. It has no stats whatsoever. This is what we're talking about. Here we go. Boom. Come on!
This to prove their faith.
Oh, wow. That would actually be a very solid jewel. Bleeding duration and magnitude. So magnitude equates to damage. Duration also equates to damage. If a bleed is lasting for a longer duration and deals the same, damage per second, you're just adding more seconds. You're just straight up adding damage. So this is actually a very, very nice jewel. Definitely would want to regal this on Trade League and then see what you get and sell it. Maybe even throw an Exalt. Let's just throw a regal on it just so I can show you what I'm talking about. All right, so we're regaling it and we get stun buildup. Okay, so there, because we didn't really get a synergistic third mod, I wouldn't bother exalting it. Then I would sell this as is. I would try to put it up for like 5 or 6 exalts. By the way, how you trade a player is you right click a tab. It needs to be a premium stash tab. And then just click public, and then you can go set negotiable price on all items. This is like a bulk tab, so everything you put in here is the same price. Or you can just do each item individually priced, which is the default. You just do that, and then you just slap this in here, right click, negotiable price, blah, blah, blah. This obviously is not going to work for me because I'm on a solo self-found league, but just so you know. And then I put it up for like 5 exalts, something like that. What? Crazy.
Cold res, what the heck? Cold res on cold res, that's crazy.
Actually, I do have the lowest res is cold res here, so I might actually use this ring. We will go back to town, augmentation orbit, and see what happens. I only have 1 in here. Do I have another reforgeable? There we go. We can do a lightning ring. Never mind, these are not. Okay, I could waste my regal. It's item level 44, 38, 25. It's too low. So what I could do here is I could regal both of these topaz rings, make them a rare, and then hit them in the reforge bench, and it would reroll, just give me a rare topaz ring. You know what? Let's just try it out for science. So this wouldn't work if I didn't regal them because, wait, what did this one get? Did I regal on the fire res? It's actually not a bad ring. Shoot, I might just use this. Anyway, all 3 have to be the yellow rarity, so that's what we did with the regal orbs there. This one's actually pretty good, though. The damage is nice, the strength is nice, and the fire res is nice. I think it's already better than, yeah, it's already better than my left one. It just has less life, but we could just exalt on some life. So let's do it. Boom. Mana, unlucky. What do we get? Mana regen rates, like, not accuracy. Dude. I suppose it's better than my right ring. Yeah. It's almost identical to my right ring. Yeah, look at that. 25 lightning, 26 lightning, 26 fire, 25 fire. They just like swapped the values. It's slightly better though. It's basically the same freaking ring. That's hilarious. So we just made a side grade, a massive side grade. Basically nothing else. Oof.
He holds on you. My king nears.
Melee moment.
Take that!
Yeah, buddy. All right, here on Hammer of the Gods, I think I'm going to swap out Eternal Flame because I was kind of mistaken on this. The supported skills have 25% less chance to ignite. Basically just means that if you had a skill that hits super hard like Hammer of the Gods that is almost guaranteed to ignite, the max it's ever going to have is a 75% chance, right? Because it's 25% less. And it gets worse if you do, you know, less damage or something. But so it's like 3 out of 4 times you're igniting for double damage, but 1 out of 4 times you're not igniting whatsoever, which is kind of bad. You always need Hammer Gods to ignite. So I think I'm going to swap Eternal Flame out for Exploit Weakness. So we just need to make sure that we plop our totem down and that it fully breaks the armor, the Ancestral Warrior totem. And if that happens, then we deal 50% more damage. We don't care about consuming the broken armor because that just relates to physical damage and it hardly matters in the first place. And then the 50% more damage applies to both the hit and the damage over time, which will be very juicy. So definitely gonna go Exploit Weakness on Hammer of the Gods. Let's swap out Eternal Flame. Place our totem down. It should break his armor very soon, any moment. There it is. Now we place Hammer of Gods, and yeah, nice damage. You can see the Ignite is doing pretty much the same damage. Not bad. Oh my gosh, Temporal Bubble.
Fear will best you.
So perfect example, Jen Barria. See how this says completing this Ascension trial will not grant additional ascendancy points. Level 56. So you're not going to get your 3rd ascendancy points until you're basically in the end game, the mapping system. Right at the start, granted, but still, if you're in the campaign, don't even bother with ascendancy past the first, I guess. I say 2 points. I'm saying one of these is a point, right? So technically you get 2 skill points, right? But this is a main point. So your first 2 main nodes, once you get them, just don't worry about it getting the next 2 until you're into the end game. Finally. Oh my gosh, ladies and gentlemen, it's a weapon we can use. Well, not yet. I'm level 55, but level 59, it already has 2 sockets, 24 to 57 fizz with strength. So already it is significantly better than mine. And if I can regal on percent fizz, oh baby, we're cooking. And of course, if I socket in 2 20% runes as well. Very, very, very nice. So here's another decent chance at an upgrade. This one has much higher base armor than my current chest. It has the spirit. I don't need that, 5 difference there. It doesn't matter. It just matters that it has the spirit. So if I can regal on, if I can aug on a resist. Oh, okay, well, scratch that. All right, got another level 3 support gem here. I'm actually going to put this on my Mace Strike. I'm going to type exposure, uncheck show recommended. So see right here, if I inflict an ignite on an enemy, I'm going to inflict fire exposure, and fire exposure gives them minus 20% fire resistance. So basically I just tap them with Mace Strike. It will occasionally ignite them, and all that matters is once it ignites, it applies that negative 20 to fire res, greatly boosting the damage of things like my Perfect Strike and my Hammer of the Gods. All right, Act 2, Cruel Final Boss. Let's see what we can do.
Desert justice.
That's supposed to cut the cart, man. What are you doing? Cut the cart, buddy. What is it? Okay, I think it's bugged. There we go. All right, buddy. See ya. Oh, he almost got me in the end there.
This is not over. Not
Hey,
yet.
nice. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the final act of the campaign, Act 3 Cruel. Woohoo! Get it for Act 3 Cruel! Yeah! Okay, so we're currently sitting at level 56. The first zone is level 58 here, so we're a little bit under leveled. Shouldn't be a huge deal. 1400 life, that's probably fine. Could be a little higher. Resistances are looking kind of rough. 7 cold res, 12 lightnings, still 17 chaos, hard carried by the Innsmouth, still using that by the way. Fire res looks okay, obviously. Armor is armor. It's not that important, but weapon we have right here. So this one is significantly more damage with just that flat. So now we're going to regal on percent fizz, surely. Mana leech is like, it's something, but watch this. I'll turn it into something huge. Oh, yeah, that's yeah, that's something huge, guys. Okay, so my current base does 106 to 128. This one does 299 to 467. Woo! All right, that is an absolutely gargantuan upgrade. I don't even need to describe it, do I? I don't even have the runes to put in it. I really, really hope that GGG implements a way to unsocket runes. I could just, unsocket the iron rune out of this and my other weapons before. I could have just unsocketed them so I could reuse them. I think it's really stupid how we have no way to remove runes, but holy crap, especially, I'm obviously it's an upgrade right now, but especially once I find those 2 iron runes and we finish off the last 2% quality. So you saw right there, I used all my blacksmith whetstones that I had saved up because each blacksmith whetstone I think gives from a 1 to 3% quality, just random. And the quality directly increases the base damage. It's multiplicative of the weapon. So this adds physical damage, percent physical damage. Those all apply to this base value. That's why it's so high. And then this quality is another 20%, up to 20% multiplier to that value. So quality is very, very, very important to the overall fizz damage of the weapon. Also, it is a good point to make is it only increases the physical damage, not the fire, any elemental, fire, cold, or lightning. So keep that in mind. But very excited to get this weapon on. But we're still using the Innsmouth. As I said, I just haven't found anything better. This chest piece is fine, I guess. Spirit double res. This ring we're still using. It is a level 25 ring, so we got that in Act 2 normal. This ring you saw, we just made a slight side grade over the ring that we were using. This amulet is garbage. I don't even know why I still have it on. Just haven't found a better one. These boots are actually quite nice. 25% movement speed. That's it. That's literally it. So never mind. They're not even that nice. It's 25% movement speed. The rest of the stats literally are irrelevant. So could find better boots. Just need more movement speed. The belt's actually really garbage as well. A little bit of life, a little bit of cold res. That's it. Level 33 belt. These gloves are not half bad. You saw me regal these earlier to get the accuracy rating. I could exalt them, I suppose, but it's not really worth it. And on the passive tree, we are doing the same old, same old. I'm going down this path. I took these 2 small nodes here because they give damage and area of effect for 2 points. Pretty good. Now I'll make my way over to these fire nodes over here, get the magnitude of ignite, chance to ignite and increase damage against ignited enemies. This one also gives you some fire pin. This one gives you some fire pin. I don't think I'll take the overheating blow unless I figure out a way to make that useful. And then after I grab all of those nodes, I will grab Avatar of Fire. So we're just dealing a butt ton of fire damage. Pretty sweet. Oh, I also forgot to do my slash blade slash death. Slash blade is 14 hours, 1 minute. Slash death is 32. So if I remember correctly, we had 31 deaths going into Act 2, Cruel. Waystone. Wow, we just got our first Waystone drop here in Act 3 Cruel. So Waystones, this is the in-game system of mapping. Obviously, I will explain a little bit, but this video is, as you can see by the title, a full campaign playthrough, not an in-game playthrough. Spoiler, there will be an in-game follow-up to this video. I don't know when, but it'll come eventually, so keep your eyes out. Can't move, can't move. Nice, man. Got stunned out of my bone shatter. It's the only reason. Woo! Lesser Jeweler's Orb. Finally. Remember I told you guys to buy these a little while ago? This is the exact reason. Level 58 zone. I'm level 56 character. Just found my first one. I think I'm gonna put this on. I actually don't know. I guess Hammer of the Gods, just for a, you know, even bigger DPS button. Boom. So now we have a third socket on Hammer of the Gods. Very nice. Also, we just got another Exalted Orb. I may as well slap it on my weapon because I could technically get hybrid physical damage accuracy rating, which would increase this damage by a lot. I could get flat fire damage, also very nice. And then for a suffix, I could get plus melee skills, or life leech is also pretty good. And then attack speed. So pretty good chance we get something useful. So let's see. Boop. Attribute requirements. Actually, attribute requirements is very nice because of, again, I explained this a little bit earlier, Giant's Blood. It triples the attribute requirements of weapons, but you can wield two-handers in one hand. So triple the requirement is kind of disgusting. Every point of strength that you take off of the requirement is 3 less strength on your character to wield the weapon with Giant's Blood, right? So it's actually the minimum roll, I think, is 15. It goes up to 30%, I'm pretty sure. And it increases by 5% increments. So it'll go 20, 25, and then 30 is the best one. Maybe it's 35, actually. Anyway, it's actually a very valuable stat, so I would not be upset with that Exalt Slam. We still have one more prefix open. I just don't have any Exalted Orbs right now, so once we get it, I will slap it on and see what happens. You know what's sad is that belt, I'm tempted to just put it on right now. Stun Threshold's nice. Life is awesome. Flash Charge gain's pretty good. I just need to wait for a Regal Orb, and then we'll hopefully get Cold Res, because if we drop our belt right now, we'd be at negative 13 Cold Res. I'll keep this over here until we get a Regal Orb. All right, and then for support gems here, I think I'm going to swap things around on Hammer of the Gods again real quick. So I'm going to put Rage Forged on, consume 10 Rage if possible to do more damage. We are generating Rage with Infernal Cry, grants me 4 Rage per 5 power. If I'm fighting a boss, it gives me 20 power, so I'm always generating at least 10 Rage. Also, we have Rage on the hit on our May Strike, so I can pretty much get the 10 no problem. So that's just giving it 35% more damage, essentially. And instead of Exploit Weakness, I think I'm going to actually take off on Perfect Strike the Searing Flame, more Magnitude of Ignite. I think I'm going to slap that on Hammer of Gods instead. And then I can put maybe, I don't know what I would put on Perfect Strike. I guess Close Combat can come back in on Perfect Strike. I have Close Combat. Oh no, Hourglass. That's what I was going to do. Hourglass on Hammer of the Gods. Fortunately, we need more intelligence. So you see here it says +5 int. That's the requirement. So my current int, I only have 1 out of 1 skill gem, blue skill gems, because I only have 7 intelligence. Every 10 or every 5 intelligence, you get an extra support socket for that color of gem. I'm using Magnified Effect for my 1 blue socket right now. So if I can get 3 more intelligence somewhere real quick. Do you have a intelligence amulet? You do. You literally do. Well, I mean, it's garbage. It's straight garbage, but it has the intelligence. I don't think I want that. Shoot, that's actually a pretty good maul as well. Hybrid Fizz with +2 melee skills. If I had more currency, if I was playing Trade League, I would 100% buy this, slap a Regal on, see what I get. If it was decent, slap some Exalt on it and see what happens. Because you could sell this to another player. This is obviously a much better upgrade, but if this rolls decently, you could also sell this for a little bit of money. Chaos Res movement speed. Dang, these boots are sick too. Yo, these vendors are popping off right now. My boots have 25 movement speed, which again is the most important stat, so I care about that more. But the Chaos Res move speed is pretty juicy. All right, we're just going to go with the tried and true classic of talking to the Hooded One and unspecking strength to intelligence like that. All of a sudden, we can put in Hourglass. So let's go back down to Hammer of the Gods. Let me actually take off. Yes, I just put Hourglass into Perfect Strike. I'm not going to need a Perfect Strike that much. Every 10 seconds is probably fine because the guy's going to be ignited anyway. That's where the damage comes from. Other than that, I can just whack him with May Strike. Yeah. I think this is fine. Hourglass on Perfect Strike. Although, if we miss the perfect timing on Perfect Strike, it's going to be a long time to wait. Yeah, we'll be fine. All right, we got our Regal Orb from that Regal Shard. Here we go with the belts. Boom. Charm charges gained. Unfortunate. Hey, a belt. Flash charges used. Here we go. Bam! Wow, I didn't think it was possible to get a worse belt for the 4th time in a row, but here we are.
Creature, it's all muscle. Weak.
Nope. I'm dead. Nope, we're good. Whoa, big damn. See ya, mighty Silverfish. Sit the head down, buddy. All right, helmet might actually be good. Let's see. Wow. All Iron Rune, number 01, going into the weapon. So we'll see the damage 299, 467 is now 327, 510. Oh my gosh. Then once we get another one, it's going to go even crazier. Oh, come on. You saw me cancel, or I might have got stunned. I don't know. You saw me in the animation for the bone shatter, or maybe you missed. I don't know what just happened there. Gosh darn it, man. Are you freaking serious? Okay. You're trapped in his magma barrier, bro. Are you like actually kidding me with that? Yep. All right, here for the Venom Draught quest reward in Act 3 Cruel, excuse me. Absolutely go for the plus 10 Chaos Res. Just don't even think about it. Get the plus 10 Chaos Res. Now we're sitting at 27%, kind of juicy. Of all the damage I deal is converted into fire damage, but we can only deal fire damage. So essentially, if we're using something that doesn't have any conversion built into it, let's say it's dealing all physical damage, 75% of it is now fire damage. However, we're just losing out on the last 25% that is still physical, right? Because we can only deal fire damage. So if I spec into this right now, let's look at our Hammer of the Gods, for example. If I take out Fire Infusion, just to make things a little easier. So right now it's dealing, 78, 90 top end physical damage and a 32, 32 top end fire damage. Now, if I spec into Avatar Fire, it goes up to 11,000 top end fire damage. So we're already dealing way more damage. If we even add up the other two, fire damage rather, but if we add up the old high end physical and the high end fire, they're pretty close in value too, right? And the reason that is because I don't have a lot of like percent physical damage. I think I have 0 actually. Increases to physical damage on the passive tree. Like stuff like this is just global, right? 40% increased damage with two-handed weapons applies to all damage types. And then up here I have stuff like fire damage. So if anything, we might actually be doing a little more damage, especially once we socket in Mr. Fire Infusions. Now we're looking at a juicy 14,000 top end. And then, oh wait, I forgot. I can now equip this weapon. You ready for this? Let's go. Let's go. All right, so we're dealing a lot more damage. Also, at this point, I'm doing way too much damage with Leap Slam. I don't think I'm going to be able to stun enemies anymore, so I'm going to switch my primary clearing method to, I forget what it's called. I think it's called Molten Blast. It's the highest level skill gem. I guess I have a 13. Yeah, Molten Blast here. So what this does is simply throws out some projectiles. You'll see once I get into the game. Also, we got another Exalted Orb. This thing has an open prefix, so if I get fire damage or hybrid fizz, that's excellent. Also, elemental damage with attacks is also very nice. Or did I already say flat fire? I think I did. All right, here we go. 93 increased LE with attacks. That is beautiful, gentlemen. Beautiful, 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 because that does synergize very nicely with Avatar of Fire. This is a gargantuan weapon. I am very happy with this. And just to show you how much of a difference, we went from what, 39k I think it was, with that modifier, slamming it, boom, now we're up to 45k top end on Hammer of the Gods. All right, so here is now what our clear should look like once we find some enemies. We just bam, press that button and everything dies. Bonk. Not too shabby. All right, see how much damage we can do to this lady. Don't need this anymore, don't need that. So I do want that on my left click. Well, you know what I can do perfect strike on right click. There we go. That's what we'll do. All right, stand still, woman. Come on. Let's go. If this is not a one shot, I'll be very, very, very surprised. Okay, it's not a one shot. Maybe.
I need more time.
Oh, she stunned me out of it. Are you freaking kidding me, man? Huh. All right, so it wasn't a one shot. Interesting. Still way better than last time I fought her. Okay, man, that's kind of what I thought was gonna happen. So for my new clear skill here, Molten Blast, I have it linked with Fire Exposure. So obviously Fire Exposure applies 20% lower fire resistance, which is very nice. So that's obviously gonna set us up for our single target damage. And I'm also using Scatter Shot, which at first glance doesn't seem that good, right? You're dealing 20% less damage and you have 20% less attack speed. Both of those are very bad. However, Skills fire 2 additional projectiles. By default, this skill, when you use it, shoots out 1 projectile, and then that projectile explodes into a bunch of other ones. So if we're adding 2 projectiles, we're not only adding it to the ones that split, but the initial count as well. So instead of 1, we're shooting 3, and then all of those explode, each with +2 as well. So we are more than doubling, actually more than tripling our number of projectiles, and thus our clearing capabilities by using scatter shot. Did we heavy stunned him off of our auto attack? Wait, that's kind of wild. Oh, okay. So this one, this amulet I currently have on has just the dexterity, a little bit of strength, a little bit of life. This one has 18 all attributes, which is very nice. And then the implicit is rarity. And you best believe we need some rarity, gentlemen. Unfortunately, we need 46 dex for our gloves. What do I have right now? 39. So that means we have to switch with the hooded one 2 sockets. Let's go do that real quick. 2 sockets, 2 passive skills. I'm all over the place right now. So before we do that, let's actually see if we have a regal orb ready to go. We have 2 regal orbs ready to go. So let's go boom. We got damage recouped as mana. You know what? It's like something, I suppose. Then we go over here to the hooded one and say, what's up, man? I need you to switch this to dexterity and switch this one to dexterity. Click apply. And now we lost a little bit of life, but we gained rarity, and that's pretty much all that matters. So I don't think I've explained rarity at any point in this video. I might have done it like really early on, but essentially all you need to worry about with rarity is the more that you have of it, the better the odds of you dropping rarer items, as the name might imply. So better currency drops, such as, you know, exalted orbs, divine orbs. If you've seen any of these in your campaign playthrough thus far, you absolutely should not be spending them. These are worth probably, you know, about 80 to 100 exalted orbs on the currency exchange market, something like that. It's going to be a very high ratio of exalt to 1 divine. So if you have divine, those are very rare. And my point with that is the rarity of items found does affect currency drops as well. And also, you know, these items, that's a rare chest piece, so you'll be getting more yellow chest piece, rare chest piece with the rarity stat as well. So it's a very, very, very powerful stat. If you have 0 rarity on your character and you just get like 30 or 40%, you're getting a lot more loot. It is like very, very noticeable, or I should say a lot more better loot, because it's not increasing the amount of items that drops, it just increases the odds of you finding something good, right? So rarity is a very, 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 very valuable stat. He stunned me. I just stunned him. Dude, we do so much damage. What's this? Bonk. And... oh, that was close. That was close. Almost a one-shot, gentlemen. Boom. Cold res. Mana! It's always mana! Always! Beautiful roll on the ultimate life flask here. You see my current one is 1352 over 4. This one's 1334 over 3. So basically just, you know, 33% better. And it has the exact same increased charges as well. So beautiful, beautiful flask. Bonk. Come on, ignite. Come on, ignite. What? Oh, okay. Where's my fire exposure, man? Bonk. Okay, that's some pretty good damage. Okay, and then he dies off of 1 hit the next time. Oh, this game, man. This game is funny. Woo! No fire exposure? Doesn't matter. GG. See ya, buddy. Oh, here's another very good base type for an item. A solar amulet gives you spirit. This one has cast speed and 131 max life. Okay, if we can get some attributes on this bad boy, this could be cooking. Cast speed is pretty relevant for me. Actually, it's 100% useless. Not irrelevant, useless. But 131 max life. All right, see what the amulet gets. Bang. Spell damage. Well, if I was a spellcaster that had life instead of energy shield, I would be very happy with that. But I'm not. Sick, man. I love having 18-year windups for every single skill, man. Iron Rune. I see it, gentlemen. I see it. Iron Rune into the weapon. How much damage? It's going from 330 to 515. 358 to 558. Man, if this had a spirit, I would put it on. Could use an Exalted Orb or 2 on it, see if we get it, because it has full suffixes. So we have 2 chances of getting Spirit. Could do that. Or actually, now that I think about it, I don't really need this Spirit, because I can just take out something like Precision. If we check our accuracy rating on something that matters, so I guess like Molten Blast, it's a clearing. We're at 100% accuracy. Take out Precision, we are still at 100% accuracy, and we're at 28 Spirit. So we need to lose 10 more Spirit. Vitality is 20. There's another aura that I have on. I guess that's it. I would have to take out Vitality, and I don't know if I want to do that. Gotta be honest. Maybe I don't need Herald of Ash. I might actually not need Herald of Ash. Let me try taking this off so I can put that on, and then boom, Cold and Lightning res looking way better. Let's see if I need Herald of Ash at all. Yeah, I kind of do need Herald of Ash. I guess I don't need Overwhelming Presence. Excuse me? Yeah, I really don't need Overwhelming Presence. I can just take this out for now. Put Herald of Ash back in. Then we can slap back on a Precision, and we still have 10 Spirit left over. Don't think we need to worry about that, though. All right, I just dropped a white rarity stellar amulet. I highly recommend that you guys use chance orbs on these. I don't know how much chance orbs right now on Trade League. They may be like 1-to-1 for an Exalted Orb. Because if you successfully use a chance orb, so a chance orb says it either converts an item of normal rarity, so a white quality, into a unique item, so an orange quality, or it just straight up destroys the item. So the opportunity cost is very, very low, but the reward is so, so high. The Astra Mantis is what you're looking for. The Astra Mantis is an Onyx amulet that can roll from 80 to 100 all attributes, and then also is the implicit, you know, the plus 5 to +7 on the implicit. So it can roll with a ton of attributes, and then there's a further currency later on that can increase those attributes a little higher as well. So it's a very valuable amulet worth literally, I think, 1,000 exalts, maybe even more than that. So very, very, very worthwhile to chuck all your chance orbs on any white stellars that you find.
I'd sooner take your head.
All right, now we're one-tapping. Looking good. All right, let's see if I can one-shot the fire god guy with fire damage.
No, you will see. It radiates.
You were lucky, man. That was close. Two shot, I'll take it. What? Yep, the zone is still overtuned, even on Cruel. Let's go. Yeah, all right. No movement speed. Movement skills suck balls. Backtracking in every single zone. You get stun lock. All right, that's enough, man. I'm going back to town, and I'm going to spec into some stun threshold. I'm 2 points away from a pretty powerful node, so I hate that you have to invest in freaking stun threshold in this game, but hey, that's the way GGG designed it, gentlemen. You're playing a melee class. You already are at a massive disadvantage because you're in melee range, and then you have to charge up your attacks for like minimum 1 second, even on your clear speed skill, before you can actually use it. So you're just gonna get stunned out of it 90% of the time. So I'm gonna unspec these points, and then go stun threshold, and a little bit of ailment threshold as well. Hopefully that fixes my problem.
As expected.
I will not relent. You will fall before us.
See ya. What? What? Cool, man. So part of the reason why I'm dying is obviously my gear is still not the best. I mean, I tried to have life on every piece of gear. Boots are the exception because boots movement speed is by far the top priority. But I mean, all my other gear, I guess my helmet too. So I and my body armor. Okay, so I'm missing like at least 200 life from these. Amulet can have like 100 life as well. I mean, realistically, they have like 60. Let's say 60 on average. And I'm missing it in 1, 2, 3, 4, Yeah, 4 slots. So probably like 200 extra life, maybe some strength on top of that. We'll call it like 250 extra life. But is that really going to make that much of a difference? No, I'd still be dying in like probably 80 to 90% of the situations that I've showed you guys. It's just something you're signing up for. It might have something to do with it being the start of early access. Hopefully they address this stuff, but geez, it is frustrating. They kept the exact same balance philosophy of just building around one-shots, and then they took away like 70% of the tools that we used to build defensively around one-shots. It's kind of wild, dude. Holy moly, Twig Circlet, a level 1 unique item. Wow. Wow. That's been the first unique I've dropped in quite some time. All right, here we are. Mr. Doriani, the Act 3 cruel final boss, and thus the entire campaign. Please stand right there. Please don't move. He's moving. He didn't move. Oh, baby. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, baby. You know, like, getting your dude?
Sheer power.
You getting your dude or what? No? Okay. And now. I would love for it to end right now. Thank you, Dorian. Thank you, man. Hurry up. Let's go.
While we're here, it happened. It cannot be stopped.
No, I will succeed.
Yeah. Yep.
The destruction of Exile.
Try to get the fire exposure. Still not on. There we go. Hammer of Gods, and you should be dead. Goodbye, sir. Honk. Whee! Let's finish him off with a perfect strike just in case. Bang. Alrighty. The campaign is done, ladies and gentlemen. That is a lot of armor. A lot. 968, and it has some fire res on top of it. You know what? That deserves... It deserves the Exalted Orb that dropped off of Doriani himself. Bam! Well, I mean, it got life. T1, minimum, you know, but it got life. That's exactly what we're looking for. I could put that on, lose some cold res. And lightning res. Yeah, no, I don't think I can put that on. Go down to -3 lightning. My armor would shoot up though, so I go from 30% armor to 52%. 2600 flat armor, 1000 flat armor. Now, I can't lose the lightning res, unfortunately. Pretty interesting chess piece though. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are at the very end of the campaign. Let's do a final slash deaths. 47 times under 50. I'll take it. And we played for 16 hours and 13 minutes to reach the end game. So now what you're going to be doing is running these waystones, and there's a device right over here. You just plop down a waystone on one of these nodes on an ever-expanding map. These different nodes have different, we'll call them mechanics associated with them. So this is Breach, just a big hand, obviously, and then you walk on the hand, it spawns a bunch of enemies in an expanding circle. Kind of fun. Expedition, just like mark chests with explosives, and then like creates a big dynamite chain, and it gets harder and harder the more chests you mark. Delirium's a big fog mirror, just spawns a bunch of monsters. And then Ritual, which we've already kind of done. As I said, that was like a precursor to the actual mechanic in the end game here. And there's more to it, but the end game is relatively shallow, especially compared to Path of Exile 1. These are boss icons, by the way. These guys are very important. If you're running out of waystones or maps to complete, especially the higher tier ones, you definitely want to run the map boss icons, these guys right here. Definitely a good way to sustain. And then finally, you're going to need a hideout. There should be one very, very, very close to your spawn point. As you can see, I have literally 3 of them right over here. Limestone, and Feld. So I can choose whichever one I want. You just need one hideout. It doesn't matter. It's just a visual thing. But your hideout is basically your own little hub. You can log in while you're playing the mapping end game, and you can put your stash wherever you want, your salvage bench, all your NPCs. You can put them efficiently, you know, so it's basically just walk in, do a map, boom, 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 sell my stuff, go back into another map, you know. But that is outside of the scope for this video because, as I said, this is a campaign playthrough of which we are done. So, ladies and gentlemen, I really hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. I really hope this helped you all out. Obviously, this is not a concise guide of any sorts. I do plan on making a beginner's guide to Path of Exile 2 at some point. It's just, I don't want to do one at the start of early access. It's just not very relevant. Whereas mostly everything that I talk about in this playthrough should be pretty dang accurate. Aside from, you know, obviously like specific quest locations and rewards and stuff. Those things will change as more content gets developed. Which is kind of why I didn't even show you guys me completing the majority of the quests, right? It's basically just me bonking dudes, killing the bosses and whatnot. So hopefully you guys got some very valuable information and really just, you know, had some fun watching the video. I appreciate you all watching one last time. Won't waste any more of your time. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Oh, and yeah, if you guys want to see this exact character moving on to the end game and watching like a general progression, this style of video, where it's like a couple hours, 3 hours long of the end game, leave a comment, smile face.